Good morning, Kuhner Country. Okay, my friends, I look forward to this show every single year. As you know, today is the annual Radiothon here on WRKO to benefit disabled American veterans, our incredible vets, World War II veterans, Korean War veterans, Vietnam veterans, obviously those who served in Afghanistan and Iraq, all of our incredible vets and service members. And as I say this a million times, and God willing, I'll say it another million times before I pass away, they were here for us. It is now our turn to be here for them. And for those of you that don't know, the DAV, the Disabled American Veterans, is an absolutely incredible organization. We have been working with them now for so many years. And the head of the Massachusetts department of the DAV, many of you know him. He's been on this show countless times. He's a former Vietnam veteran himself. He spent time in the Air Force. And Dan Stack, he has worked for the DAV for over 50 years. He is the Chief Executive Officer for the DAV Department of Massachusetts. Dan, as always, it is a true honor and pleasure. And I've got to ask you, how are you?
I am fantastic. I mean, you just said I've been here for 50 years, so everybody knows I'm ancient. So anyway, it's just great to be up and alive and here this morning, Jeff.
Well, look, Dan, I know a lot of people, at least in this audience for sure, very happy. This is a very good week for them. I don't want to get into politics, but they're feeling very good. Things are going to turn around, knock on wood. So hopefully they'll be in a very generous mood to start, writing some checks and making some nice, generous donations. Dan, before we start asking people to call or email or go on the website to start donating money, for people who don't know the DAV, why should they donate to disabled American veterans? What does the DAV do for our wounded and maimed vets?
Well, the Disabled American Veterans is a nonprofit, federally chartered veterans organization. It has been basically in existence since 1921. It was established due to the fact that when veterans were returning from World War I, there was no Veterans Administration. There was literally no benefit for veterans to even partake of. Veterans were in more or less welfare lines more than anything else, or having to, panhandle in order to try to exist due to the injuries that they had. So the DAV was formed and then literally started arguing with Congress in order to get benefits for veterans. And not only the DAV, but the American Legion, the Veterans of Foreign Wars, all combined together to literally have Congress then establish the Veterans Administration. And we have been working continuously with the VA to make sure that veterans are well taken care of for all the injuries that they have, not just their physical injuries, but more or less the hidden wounds that we've come to be known as post-traumatic stress disorder, traumatic brain injury, those type of wounds that people just don't see readily, but do affect not only the veteran, but his family.
Dan, thank you very much for that, because one of the points I want to stress to everybody, look, I have wounded veterans literally behind me in the studio. That's, they come throughout, for 4 hours, they come in, they're going to be telling their stories. These are people in wheelchairs, quadriplegics, paraplegics, maimed, crippled, serious PTSD, mental health issues, you name it. It goes across the gamut, across the entire spectrum. And these are people who put everything on the line for us. Everything. And, they need help. They need medical assistance. They need healthcare assistance. They need to be driven to doctor's appointments. That may seem to many of us, who can't get a lift. They can't get a lift. They can't. So this, I'm just giving you a little bit of what the DAV does. They are there giving full service, taking care of our wounded, maimed, disabled veterans 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. To donate, I'm urging all of you, whatever you can give. I can tell you this from the bottom of my heart. All the vets tell me this. It's not the size of the donation. Of course, the bigger the donation, the better. But honestly, it's just that call. It's just that you care. It could be $5, $20, $50, $100, whatever you can afford. The number to call, 978-632-1985, 978-632-1985. Or if you prefer giving through the website, you can visit dav5k.boston. So that's DAV, the number 5k.boston. Dan, currently, how is the situation for the DAV? And are you able to still provide the necessary resources and services for so many disabled veterans who obviously need help?
We have been holding our own, as you know. Unfortunately, inflation has also hit us with what we have to purchase and provide to the veterans that we house. It also has affected the veterans that unfortunately have to survive on their VA compensation, so that, everything digs into that particular amount. The DAV currently today, we're holding our own. We certainly still need much more support. We have a housing program out there in Gardner, Mass, and I know later on Mike Viella will be coming in to talk about exactly what we're doing with them. We still have our transportation program that's going daily, transporting veterans to and from their VA medical appointments. As you know, Jeff, getting people to the VA for their wellness care prevents long-term, sometimes hospitalization, because they are constantly being looked at. And, it's preventive care more than anything. And that's what we're so proud of in the DAV. We provide that transportation so veterans have that kind of care so that their disabilities don't get much more worse than they already are.
One of the things the they do so many. I mean, I can spend 4 hours telling everything that they do. But one of the things the DAV does, homeless veterans, they will do everything in their power to try to find housing for homeless veterans. Dan very modestly and humbly said, we get them rides to the hospital, to the VA, to their doctor's appointments. They do so much more than that. They make sure that they get the medical care that they need when they need it. Dan, we've just got a couple of minutes left in this segment. Do you get federal funding? I'm just curious. How do you afford, because this is a massively expensive operation, how do you afford to run these service programs?
The transportation program is literally run through the generosity of the general public. We purchase the VA vehicles. We purchase the vehicles, and then we actually donate that vehicle to the Veterans Administration so that they would take the maintenance and care of it. But it's our volunteers that drive it. It is basically our staff that mans and takes care of all of the logistics and getting people to and from. In regards to our housing program, we are fortunate that we do get some funding from the state, but it's nowhere near the amount that we need in order to make sure every veteran that we have that we're housing is properly cared for. Again, the general public has helped us out in a great deal, not only from the Radiothon, but from the DAV 5K road race, in all just their generosity that they provide to us on a yearly basis.
And Dan, I take it the 5K road race, that's going to be tomorrow, correct?
Tomorrow, yes, in South Boston, right at Castle Island, Fort Independence. It's going to start about 9:15 tomorrow, and we are completely sold out. We have over 1,500 runners coming, and we're really looking forward to it.
Do you have to run or can you walk?
You can run, walk, roll. You can do everything.
But what if my wife drives me, Dan?
If she drives you, we'll make sure, Jeff, you have your own lane so that you have plenty of. We'll get you right close up to the fireboat so you can get a little spray on you too, on that South Boston breeze coming in.
Apparently, it's going to be a beautiful, warm day tomorrow, so it's going to be a perfect time to do the run. Dan, we've got literally less than a minute. Where can our listeners go to support the DAV and all the local veterans that you serve?
First of all, if any veteran out there needs any assistance whatsoever, please go to davma.org. That is our website. All of our telephone numbers are listed there. All of the services are listed there. It's easier just to remember Disabled American Veterans, Massachusetts, DAVMA. We're there to help you.
davma.org to donate, my friends. Please, I urge all of you, again, it's not the size of the amount, it's the call, it's just the fact that you donate. $1, $5, $20, $25, $50, $100, whatever you can give. 978-632-1985, 978-632-1985. Or if you prefer, go to dav5k.boston, DAV, the number 5k.boston. We're going to be back with our annual radiothon to benefit disabled American veterans with Dan Stack. Don't touch that dial. 619 on the great WRKO. Jeff Kuhner, Boston's bulldozer. Okay, my friends, favorite show of the year for the Kuhner Man. Well, I'm not going to lie. Wednesdays was the favorite show of the year. But usually, this is my favorite show of the year. It is our annual radiothon to benefit disabled American veterans. Joining me now is none other than Dan Stack. He is the Chief Executive Officer for the DAV Department of Massachusetts. As I said in my opening monologue, Dan has worked for the DAV for over 50 years. He is an Air Force Vietnam veteran and someone who takes tremendous pride in helping fellow veterans and veterans who obviously have suffered major disabilities. Dan, can you just give us a quick sense of all of the services that, I know you mentioned some of them, that the DAV does, and in particular, is it just Boston, or are you all over Massachusetts?
The DAV Department of Massachusetts is exactly that. We are all over, basically, Massachusetts. In Boston itself is where our National Service Office is located, the JFK Federal Building. Our National Service officers are paralegally trained representatives that would review the veterans' medical records and then help and assist them in filing a claim with the VA. When that claim may not be decided in favor of the veteran, then our National Service officers are trained in order to appeal and basically win that case all the way from the Boston office through the Washington office, even to the Court of Veterans Appeals if we have to, in order to attain the benefit that the veteran is deserving of. We also, because we are from the Department of Massachusetts, we also have department service officers at all of our VA facilities, VA medical facilities, and there are 5 of them in the Massachusetts area that, again, will help a veteran by assisting them filing claims, or if, in fact, they need assistance in making sure they're getting the proper medical care that they needed at that particular VA medical center. We also train chapter service officers, and we have 50 chapters within Massachusetts, and each of these service officers would be able to assist and help, again, file a claim for the Veterans Administration on a local level. So we try to work from the local level right up to the VA medical centers, up to the federal building, to make sure the veterans have access to any assistance they may need in trying to file a claim with the VA, or sometimes they file it on their own, find out they didn't get what they were looking for, deserving for, and they are not sure of the appellate process, and they contact us so we can help basically navigate through the appellate process with them.
That's excellent. I mean, among one of the many things that you do is you're there, you're the advocate for disabled veterans, correct?
That is correct. And I want to say on our department service officers and our chapter service officers, they are all volunteers. We train them, but these are individuals that give it of their own time and effort in order to make sure that veterans are being taken care of properly. So my hat goes off to not only our department and chapter service officers who are volunteers, but also our transportation network is all volunteer drivers. The DAV, yes, we get funds from the general public and we try to spend that as diligently we can, but if it weren't for our volunteers, we would not be able to provide the services that we do.
Oh, that's incredible. Really, I tip my hat off to them. If you want to give, please, Kuhner Country, give generously. Veterans Day is on Monday, but we're doing our show obviously today. They've put it all on the line for us. These are our disabled veterans. They need us. They were there for us. Please, let's be there for them. Whatever the amount is, it will be immensely appreciated. Trust me when I tell you this. You should just see their faces when they just see that phone ring. That the fact that they know that you care and you haven't forgotten them. So please give 978-632-1985, 978-632-1985, or if you prefer, their website, dav5k.boston, DAV, the number 5, k.boston, and this hour of the DAV annual radiothon on WRKO is sponsored by the law offices of Altman Nussbaum. They are Boston's trial lawyers. So a big thank you to the law offices of Altman Nussbaum. Thank you, and we'll be talking to one of their representatives in the next segment. Dan, are you surprised how much support and enthusiasm people have for the DAV and for our veterans? Does it surprise you how every year it seems people rise up to the occasion and give?
No, because one of the things that we have is a great country. And I know we just went through an election, but I don't, it doesn't matter whether you're a Republican, a Democrat, or an independent. It is our nation, and we support our veterans. We try to make sure that we don't, when a veteran comes to us, we could care less what their nationality is, race, or their political, what you would say, political views. All we care about is how do we make sure that that veteran is taken care of because he has sacrificed for this nation, so that we can all argue or we can all get together, have 4th of July celebrations, meet with our families, have our Thanksgivings, our Christmases. Those are the things that when you're serving and you're overseas, that's what you cared about. How is and what is my family doing right now? And are they safe and cared for?
Amen.
That's what veterans do.
Amen. Look, I've said this many, many times, and I'm going to keep saying it. The reason why I am able to be behind this microphone is because of the immense sacrifices and service and patriotism of all of our veterans, but especially our disabled veterans. So please, Kuhner Country, please think of them. Veterans Day is officially on Monday. Let's help them in their hour of need, and they do need us. Call now, 978-632-1985, 978-632-1985, or if you prefer, you can go to their website and give right there, dav5k.boston, dav5k.boston. And again, I want to give a big shout out to the law offices of Altman Nussbaum, Boston's trial lawyers, for sponsoring this hour. Okay, Kuhner Country, let's raise some money. Let's raise some cash. Let's help out our disabled American veterans. A lot more to come here on the Kuhner Report, our annual radiothon to benefit the Disabled American Veterans Department of Massachusetts. 6:32 on the great WRKO. Jeff Kuhner, Boston's bulldozer. I love this show. I love doing it every single year. It is WRKO's annual radiothon to benefit disabled American veterans. Please, Kuhner Country, give generously. You've done every single year. I know you can do it again. The number to call if you want to donate, 978-632-1985, 978-632-1985, or if you prefer, you can visit their website, dav5k.boston, DAV, the number 5k.boston. This hour of the Radiothon on WRKO is sponsored by the law offices of Altman Nussbaum, Boston's trial lawyers. And joining us now in studio, he's a couple feet right to my left. Just a wonderful, wonderful veteran. Just met him and his wonderful assistant at the office. His name is Rob Santiago. He is a commissioner of veteran services for the city of Boston. He is a proud DAV member. He is a U.S. Navy Iraq veteran, served, listen to this, in Desert Shield and Desert Storm. Rob, it is a true honor and privilege to be with you in the studio. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you for your service.
Well, thank you, Jeff. Thank you for having me. Just a little bit about myself. I joined the Navy straight out of high school and served 20 years. I actually, what brought me to Boston was orders to the USS Constitution, the oldest commissioned warship afloat in the world. And one thing that I always go back to when I talk about my service is I'm also LGBTQ+. And when I retired from the United States Navy, I had my retirement ceremony, and at that time, my fiance was going to be there at my retirement ceremony, and I was trying to figure out a way to talk about him in my speech. Mind you, I'm going to age myself here, Jeff, but this was back in 2008, so Don't Ask, Don't Tell was still the law. So I was able to talk about him in my retirement speech because it was very important to me. Very important to me that I not only talk about my family and my loved ones, but I talk about the person that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. And I was able to do that. And one of the greatest things about being a member of the Department of Massachusetts DAV is that the Department of Massachusetts DAV affords me the opportunity to be who I am as a service member, as a veteran, but also know that I'm also included in the advocacy of what the Department of Massachusetts DAV does, also included in the conversation about, what it means for me to be a veteran, not just an LGBTQ veteran, but a veteran. When we joined the military, as LGBTQ+, we joined for many different reasons. But all those reasons are the same reasons that everybody else joins. It could be for patriotism. It could be for college, for higher education. It could be just for something as simple as camaraderie and belonging and being part of that military community. So that's one thing. That's one of the reasons why I'm here today is to talk about the inclusivity that the Department of Massachusetts DAV has given me and many others in the veterans community.
I'm just curious, Rob. You mentioned, you early on in your life, you decided to join the military. Can you just discuss briefly your military service and your transition when you decided to leave the military service from military into just becoming a general member of the population?
So when I joined, I served 20 years and 8 days, not that I was counting.
Wow.
And one of the reasons that I joined as well was, I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, so please don't hold that against me. I joined to get out of New York, but also to be a part of something big. And, back then when the Navy catchphrase was, join the adventure, be the adventure. And I wanted to join the Navy because it will also afford me the opportunity to visit the world. And it did just that. My first duty station was on a ship out of Norfolk, Virginia. Had the opportunity to serve in the Supreme Allied Commander for the Supreme Allied Commander in Europe. After that, went to a ship in Japan. from Japan back to the United States in Norfolk of USS George Washington, a carrier. And then that's what brought me here to Boston on board the USS Constitution, where obviously I fell in love in Boston, but also fell in love with the city of Boston. I've been here ever since. And we're talking back since 2005. So when I started my transition, I try to start as early as possible. And that's one thing that I tell all my veterans is, once you're ready to retire, once you're ready to hang up the uniform, at that moment is when you need to start your transition. And not just for yourself, but also for your family, but also for your wife, your kids, your husband, or anybody that lives in that household with you. And for me, I thought I had, foot in the door because of my volunteerism in the community, in the veterans community, and in the community in general. But it's what was on the other side of that door that I didn't see. There was a lot of things. Once you open that door wide open, there's a lot of things that's going to come at you when you transition, and you have to be prepared for that. And the Department of Massachusetts DAV helped me in that transition. They were there to assist me in that transition. Now, I talked about volunteerism a couple of seconds ago, and I know Dan talked about it a little bit in the 6 o'clock hour. But it's very important to state that. Because today I'm the Commissioner of Veteran Services for the city of Boston, and how I got there was because of my volunteerism in the community, in the veterans community, was because of being active in the DAV. That all led to where I'm at today. I'm not successful in my job as commissioner if it wasn't for the DAV. That collaboration, that partnership with the DAV is what makes me a good commissioner. And it's all about supporting our veterans, my fellow veterans, their families as well. So, while that transition was a little rocky, I did 20 years. Like I said, I joined straight out of high school. So, I spent pretty much the majority part of my adult life wearing the uniform. So when you transition from wearing a uniform into trying to figure out, what color socks, exactly, what color socks you're going to wear the next day, it could be very daunting for a lot of people, and for me, it was daunting as well. But having the support of the veterans community, having the support, and being a part of an organization like the DAV, really helped me to be where I'm at today.
Rob, you basically answered the question I wanted to ask as a follow-up, but we've got about a minute left. People listening right now, they, want to dig into their pockets, $25, $50, $100. Why the DAV? There's many groups out there that help veterans. Why the DAV?
It's pretty simple. Everything that's offered by the DAV to our veterans is offered for free. No charge. And the volunteers, they're just that, volunteers. They want to help. They want to be there to help our veterans. And also, in many, many cases, is veterans also helping veterans. Who better else to help a veteran than a veteran who's been there, who's done that? When we talk about filing VA claims, that is a huge process in itself. We want to keep that claim in the fast lane. The best way to keep that claim in the fast claim is to go to an accredited agent, and you can find those accredited agents in the DAV, which, by the way, do it for free.
Rob, again, I want to thank you for your service, not just obviously in the military, but what you do now for all of the service members, for all of the veterans. You're a true patriot, and I really want to thank you.
Thank you, Jeff, and thank you for you and for your listeners. Thank you for supporting the DAV.
It's my honor, truly my honor and my pleasure. Kuhner Country, look, let's ring their phone off the hook. Let's not forget them in this crucial time of the year. Veterans Day is just on Monday. Let's reward them and thank them for their incredible service. They were there for us. Let's be there for them. Call now if you want to donate, 978-632-1985, or visit dav5k.boston. That's 978-632-1985, or visit dav5, the number 5, 5k.boston. And again, I want to give a special thank you to the law offices of Altman Nussbaum. They are Boston's trial lawyers for sponsoring this very special hour of the Radiothon here on the great WRKO. Okay, my friends, many of you are texting the Kuhner man on the phone saying, Jeff, I'd love to give, but I can't give more than $10 or $15 or $20. It's not the amount that matters. It's the thought that matters. Whatever you can give, trust me, is immensely appreciated. So please, Kuhner Country, let's give 978-632-1985 or visit dav5k.boston. Let's support the DAV Department of Massachusetts, baby. 649 on the great WRKO. Jeff Kuhner, Boston's bulldozer. Okay, baby, this is our day, my friends. Annual Radiothon to benefit disabled American veterans. Please give generously, and what I mean generously, whatever you can give. It is tremendously appreciated. 978-632-1985. 978-632-1985 if you want to donate. You can also visit their website, dav5k.boston. DAV, the number 5, K.Boston. This hour of the Radiothon is brought to you by the law offices of Altman Nussbaum, Boston's trial lawyers. We are trying to get in contact with the CEO and founder of the law offices of Altman Nussbaum, Larry Nussbaum. But until we do, joining us now, and it is truly my distinct honor and pleasure, is Leo Reardon. He is a U.S. Army veteran. He is also a proud DAV member. He did 2 tours of duty in Vietnam. Not 1, but 2. This man is a true great patriot. He is really a very, very special American, loves this country. He's got his wonderful cap on, talking about his service, America's Vietnam veteran. Leo, thank you so much for being on the Kuhner Report on this very special day. And from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you for your service to our country. God bless you.
Well, thank you very much. And thanks for the invite. I'm proud to be here today. It's an honor for me too.
Well, the honor is truly mine, I have to say. Leo, I've got to ask you, why did you decide to serve in Vietnam? And why did you decide to serve not 1, but incredibly 2 tours?
Well, I mean, it was pretty much still the height of the Vietnam War, and there's a lot of patriotism back then. And we had just lost a neighborhood friend who was killed over there the year before. I was 16 then, and I said, you know something, I'm going to try to participate and see what I can do. So right after high school, I was vice president of my senior class, and everyone was scratching their head, wondering why I was going overseas. But I said it was time for me to help do something for them anyway.
Now, and apparently you're a disabled veteran.
Yes.
And you have Parkinson's, correct?
That's correct, yes.
And from my understanding, it looks apparently Agent Orange was used widely in the Vietnam War.
Yes.
And for many veterans, it led to Parkinson's. And I'm just curious, how is it dealing with Parkinson's? And what has the DAV meant for you in dealing with your Parkinson's?
Well, from the beginning, the DAV of Massachusetts has been gone out of their way providing the things I need to deal with this disease, and along with everything else too. Once you have it, you don't realize the things that you need to move forward because you're not used to being very needy, so to speak. That helped my wife received, the things that make life easier for me at home, and just makes things more comfortable. And it's an honor for them because it's a great group of people that keeps you going, and it also gave me the excitement to maybe become an officer myself. and so I did about a year ago, and I've helped a few veterans myself, and to me, that's all I wanted to do.
You're an incredible man.
Thank you.
Leo, you truly are. You're a great American and a great patriot. Leo, please don't go anywhere, because I want to continue talking with you. Joining us now is the CEO, the founder of the law offices of Altman Nussbaum, Boston's trial lawyers, Larry Nussbaum. Larry, thank you so much for coming on the Kuhner Report and for sponsoring this hour of our annual radiothon to benefit disabled American veterans, Department of Massachusetts.
Yes, thank you for having me. That's probably the greatest introduction I've ever had. And it's seriously, wow, that was great. I can hear that all over again. But no, it's like I said, we always try to get involved in the local community specifically, but obviously, it's a great holiday coming up, celebrating all the veterans and everything they do for us.
Well, Larry, I'm sitting here beside Leo Reardon in the studio, and the man's, served in Vietnam for our country. Whatever you think of the war, he served our country honorably, faithfully, has Parkinson's now, probably because of Agent Orange that was used. And this is going to be with him and his poor, wonderful wife who's supporting him every step of the way. And it's so wonderful to know that people like you have not forgotten disabled veterans like Leo. Larry, I'm just curious. You're obviously a very generous, kind man. Why the disabled American veterans? Why do you and your law office support them? And why should people listening support the DAV?
Well, it's one of those things where I think, almost all of us have, a family member or someone close to us that served or is serving. So I think, it's one of those things that hits home to everybody. I'm grateful, and I've always tried to practice gratitude. Like I do that every morning. And, we take for granted sometimes that we can just wake up and go grab a coffee or go to work like I try to do every day and do my job, because we don't have to worry about certain things that go on in other parts of the world because we feel very safe. But that's not just by luck or anything. That's because of our military and our great country and how we try to protect ourselves and be prepared for everything. So I think sometimes we take for granted every day that we get to just kind of go about our lives, where the reality is we're protected by all these people who devote their lives to protecting us. And that makes nothing works without our military. And I truly believe that. So, thank you very much, sir. And thank you very much to, all the other veterans out there and, even people that are currently serving right now.
Amen. Amen. I know you're very busy, Larry, but Dan Stack, he is the Chief Executive Officer for the Department of Massachusetts for the DAV. He just wants to give you a quick thank you. Please, Dan, go ahead.
Okay.
Thank you very, very much for your support today of hosting this hour of the Radiothon. As you know, the DAV in and of itself could not afford to be able to run a radiothon, but with your support, every penny that is donated by Jeff's listeners today goes directly into support of the veterans that have served this country. So once again, thank you very much for hosting this hour. It really means a great deal to us.
Yeah, and again, I really appreciate that, and thank you for having me on, Jeff. And again, really thank you to everybody that served and is serving. And we continue to need people that want to serve. So I think it's very important for everybody.
God bless you, Larry. We have been talking with Larry Nussbaum from in fact, the founder and CEO of the law offices of Altman Nussbaum, Boston's trial lawyers. Larry, have a wonderful weekend, and thank you once again. Okay, we just got a couple minutes left here with Leo. Leo, I want to ask you, Leo Reardon, 2 tours in Vietnam, battling Parkinson's now, probably because of Agent Orange. If you could do it all over again, knowing what it has cost you, knowing the price that you have paid, would you still have signed up and served your country? I'm just curious.
Oh, of course. I don't think there's too many veterans, especially combat veterans, that wouldn't go back just to, and not worry about what happens later on. it's the camaraderie. It's what you can do, makes you proud to be able to help serve your country. And again, the camaraderie overseas is something that you have to do it yourself in order to realize how important it is. And they're closer than brothers and sisters. And it's just something very special. And I do it all over anytime again.
I tip my hat off to you. I truly do.
Thank you.
Kuhner Country, well, here you have it. Please do it for Leo. You heard him, Leo Reardon, 2 tours in Vietnam, battling Parkinson's, probably caused by Agent Orange. You ask him, would you do it all over again? Yes. That's how much he loves our country. These are very special patriots. We are blessed to have people like Leo Reardon. Now, you can help him. You can help his wife who's standing beside him shoulder to shoulder, and countless other disabled veterans like Leo Reardon. It's not the amount, it's the thought. I'm begging you, I'm asking you, I'm urging you, please pick up the phone, call 978-632-1985, 978-632-1985, or if you prefer, you can go to their website, dav5k.boston, dav5, the number 5, dav5k.boston. Kuhner Country, let's give, and let's give generously. They were there for us. Leo was there for us. It's now time for us to be there for him. I want to thank Larry Nussbaum one last time. The last hour, we're now in the 7 o'clock hour, but the last hour of this annual radiothon on WRKO to benefit disabled American veterans was sponsored by the law offices of Altman Nussbaum, Boston's trial lawyers. Leo, I want to shake your hand, my friend.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
It's a true pleasure.
Thank you.
True honor, sir.
Thank you very much.
Leo, you need anything, you give me a call, okay?
I will.
I promise.
Well, the DAV
I'll do everything I can
does
for you.
everything also. I can't thank them enough. Thank you.
Well, on top of the DAV, you need anything, you give the Kuhner man a call.
I will. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Leo. Thank you. And thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. God bless you. From the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Okay, my friends. So here we are, second hour now of our annual radiothon to benefit disabled American veterans. It's my favorite show of the year. I love this show, but I'm going to be brutally honest with you, Kuhner Country. It's the most emotionally draining show of the year. When I'm done after 4 hours, I'm spent. I got to be careful. I don't want to get emotional on the air. When you see these disabled veterans, as I do up front, face to face, and every single time, whether it's public or private, doesn't matter. And you see them with no legs, no limbs, wheelchairs, quadriplegic, paraplegic, faces blown off or parts of their faces blown off, or you name it, the severe PTSD, metal plates in their head. I mean, you wouldn't believe what they have endured, or Agent Orange and the cancer or Parkinson's or all sorts of issues. And they go through hell, and their life has been hell. And you say, if you could roll back the clock, would you still do it again? Every single time, for my country, for America, for my fellow Americans, yes. The best of the best. The most patriotic of the patriotic, the best of the best, the cream of the cream. So please, Kuhner Country, we've always given generously. Please give whatever you can. 978-632-1985. Or if you prefer, visit dav5k.boston, dav5k.boston. Now, this hour of the Radiothon here on WRKO is sponsored. Yes, it is brought to you by Walmart. So thank you, Walmart. Anyway, so, my friends, we're just waiting to get Paul Wahlberg on. We had Paul Wahlberg on, what was it, last week? I love it when Paul Wahlberg comes on because we start to raffle a dinner for Paul. 10 people. This time, however, you'll be doing it at one of his restaurants. So he's not going to be coming to your home as he's always done every year. The logistics, getting everybody to agree on a certain day or time. So Paul said, look, we're going to do 10 people, full course meal. And here's the man himself. I thought we were doing a phoner. Paul, buddy.
What the heck is a phoner?
A phoner. You call by phone. Phone interview.
Yeah, I don't phone.
No, you don't phone. Okay.
I'm not a phoner.
Bob Lynch as well is here. How are you, Bob?
Very good.
Paul, I was just saying, how are you, Paul? Buddy, it's a true honor and privilege to have you on again. Take your time, no rush.
Come on. Gotta sort this out.
So we're joined here by Paul Wahlberg, a big supporter of disabled American veterans. He's there for the DAV every single year. Paul, I was just saying, we always love to raffle and, do an auction on, dinner with Paul Wahlberg. He cooks it for you. It's a gourmet meal, 6-course, wine, dessert, appetizer, the whole shebang, as they say.
Yep.
Except this time, Paul, you're not going to be going to people's homes.
Yep.
Because of logistics and getting everybody to agree to a certain day and time.
Yep.
It's going to be done at one of your beautiful restaurants.
Yeah, it'll be done at El Manove in Hingham, Mass.
Oh, really?
Yep. Right down on the water in the Hingham shipyard.
That's nice.
You can actually if you want, you can take the ferry right to the back door of the restaurant.
Really?
Yep.
Whoa. Now, Paul, this is for 10 people, right?
What do we have? Yeah, 8, 10 people. I forget what the exact number
Okay,
was,
I'm
but
trying to go a little high to raise the value.
Well, yeah, all right. We can get to 10 people, and we'll sort it all out.
So, okay, now, Paul, just, people are listening. Everybody, hey, you cook a meal. People want to eat it. What's going to be on offer for this incredible gourmet meal?
We start out with fried Spam sandwiches, and then go to English muffin pizzas for the second course, which is always the big hit. And then, it depends on the season. Obviously we try to be seasonal and fresh with everything. And, if there's something special that people are interested in, we'll always make it because, at the end of the day, this is our opportunity to say thank you, not only to the people who donate, but to our veterans and all of the things that are important. Because if we don't say thank you, then, we have to change our mind frame. That's for sure.
Well, look, it's my true honor and privilege. Paul Wahlberg is in studio, celebrity chef. You all know him, co-founder, Wahlburgers franchise, and yes, Alma Novi. And he is really, I got to tell you.
Dude, you got to get it right. I'm going to say it.
Well, hold on. It's Alva Novi, right? N-O-V-E.
Nove.
Nove.
You were wicked close.
Oh, we're going a little Italian there, huh, Paul?
We were wicked close.
Alma Nove. Oh, I'm so sorry, Paul. I'm so sorry.
No.
See, I just don't run with your kind of people, Paul.
It's we do the best we can, It's still early for you.
Now, Paul, is there going to be wine? Is there?
Yes, there's wine included. 6 courses.
Dessert?
Yep, dessert. We like you said, the whole shebang. And again, it's a great time and a great experience, and at least that's what I'm told.
And they get to meet you as well, right?
Yeah, which is usually an overrated experience. So we'll just leave it at that.
Paul, I've got to ask you, obviously, why there are many veterans groups out there. Why disabled American veterans?
First of all, we try to get to, you want to support all the veterans, first and foremost, but the DAV, the work that they do, because not only, the needs of the veterans that, especially as they start dealing with, as they're aging and things like that, and all of the injuries that they have, and all of things, and some of the things you see, some of them you don't see. Post-traumatic stress, all of those things, and just being able to support them, to say thank you. Because at the end of the day, they make our lives possible, right? They have sacrificed, they have done everything, and when they hear that call, they hear that message and they get out and they just, again, we just have to say thank you.
I couldn't agree with you more, Paul. I really couldn't. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention this. Alma Cares is a nonprofit that your wonderful mother started, and you now run. In a few weeks, volunteers will begin packing Thanksgiving meal boxes that are then distributed to families in need across the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. I'm just curious for the audience out there, can you tell us more about this and how the DAV volunteers have assisted Alma Cares?
Alma Cares is something was started by my daughter and one of her friends, and we support families at Thanksgiving and the importance of, again, saying thank you. And we grew up very humbly, and we know, we know what it meant to be hungry at times. And so the importance of that, and so we want to make sure that everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving meal, and we support as many families as possible. And we have DAV members who come over and help and participate. Bob Lynch is always there, always the man. It's great, and we get to support military families through it, needy families throughout the greater Boston area, the South Shore. So it's very important to us.
You're a real straight up guy, Paul. Bob Lynch from the DAV, I know you want to jump in quickly. Or Dan Stack?
Well, first of all, Paul, one thing. Bob Lynch does show up. But it isn't like he's lifting boxes
punctuality
or turkeys.
is usually,
he shows up to make sure the volunteers are there.
Yes, exactly. He comes by, checks the list, and then off he goes. Puts the roof down on the convertible and out the door. Last week he left me here to fend for myself, so it's all, it's all good. Just tell Kuhner I'm on my way.
I'm a good second.
But I'll tell you, Dan, the whole group, everybody, we have to say thank you every single time, every opportunity you have to say thank you to a veteran, anybody, first responders, any of that stuff, because they keep us safe. They keep us safe. They keep us protected. They do the hard jobs.
Amen. Very well said. Paul, we've got 45 seconds left. What do we want to start the auction off? It's a meal for 10 people, 6-course dinner, wine, it comes with the whole package. Should we start it off at what? 1,000, 1,500?
Yeah, let's start it at 2,000.
2,000, I love it. Okay, we're going to start it off at $2,000. Trust me, it's a steal.
5 seconds. I don't know how many bids you're going to get in 45 seconds.
Oh, no, we're going to do this the whole show, my friend. No, we don't give away the winner until the end. No, we usually get about 10 grand for this baby. We start at 2, but we go up and up and up. So please, get a figure in your head ready. 2,000 is the starting bid. We're back. Don't touch that dial. 7:20 on the great WRKO. Jeff Kuhner, Boston's bulldozer. A little sleep deprived, my friends. It's been a crazy, hectic week, as all of you know. Annual radiothon to benefit disabled American veterans. This hour brought to you by Walmart. Okay, my friends, we're here still with the great celebrity chef himself, Paul Wahlberg of Wahlburgers, and yes, Alma Novi. Right? Is that no? No, you guys are laughing.
Batting 1,000.
Was it Alma Nova? Is that it?
Nove.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Alma Nove. Forgive me. It's an incredible, I'm telling you, once in a lifetime experience for 10 people, 6-course meal. It includes wine, and I mean delicious wine. I'm talking dessert, appetizer, beautiful view right by the harbor. We're going to start the auction off at $2,000. I'm telling you, it's a steal. This is something you and your family will remember for the rest of your lives. 978-632-1985. Call 978-632-1985. Or if you want to put a bid in via the website, you can as well. Go to dav5k.boston, dav5k.boston. Again, the number is 978-632-1985. Paul, you're very generous as always. Before I let you go, are you going to be participating in that 5K run tomorrow, Paul?
Oh, I'm an observer. Yeah, I'm an observer. I'll tell you, we come out and cook, and there's so many restaurants that get out there and are supportive, and it's an amazing event. And to be out there early, Castle Island, it's such a historic location, and to be out there with all the runners and everything. And, it's supposed to be nice weather tomorrow, a little over 50, so it'll be a nice sunny day. Everybody will have a blast. Everybody brings their dogs, and it's a great, great day. It's, not only is it a great start to your weekend, but it's also that thing where you're giving and you're caring and you're showing your thanks and showing your respect to the veterans. And it's a great day. It's a great day. And, the whole DAV team puts on such an amazing show. It really, really is. And, we've been doing it for a while, and we just absolutely love it. We look forward to it every year.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Okay, joining me now, every year, Dan Quirk delivers. He is the owner, CEO of Quirk Auto Group. Dan has been a longtime supporter of the DAV Department of Massachusetts. Call now if you want to make a bid, or make a donation as well. 978-632-1985, 978-632-1985. Dan, thank you so much for coming on WRKO's annual radiothon to benefit disabled American veterans. And I got to ask you, how are you, Dan?
Good morning, Jeff. I'm fine on this beautiful day. It couldn't be better for a November day, so I'm fine. Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Dan, I'm just curious, why the DAV? You're generous every single year. Have you or have any of your family members served in the military?
Well, my father was a World War II veteran. My nephew is a veteran of Afghanistan, and my great uncle was killed in France in World War I.
Wow.
I served in the Air Force Reserves from 1969 to 1975. But the real veterans are the people that I just mentioned before myself.
Dan, you're always so generous, not just with the DAV, but with the DAV 5K, Boston, the run tomorrow, the DAV Department of Massachusetts, all their programs. Why do you support the DAV year in, year out?
I support the DAV because I respect the commitment that they make to veterans. And I do know that the DAV just celebrated their 100th anniversary, which is incredible because for an organization to do that much for veterans for so long, I am so happy to be part of this so that I can support the DAV and the good work that they do. I was introduced to the DAV by Lou Pasquale, a World War II veteran, in the 80s, and I've been involved ever since. And I just couldn't say enough good about the DAV.
Well, Dan, thank you so much. And I know Dan Stack wants to say a few words to you. Dan, please go ahead.
Mr. Quirk, as always, God bless you for the support that you have given us throughout the years, and especially mentioning Louis' name. As you know, our DAV 5K Boston Road Race, or as we call it, our 5K, wouldn't have been possible without Lou. Lou was the instrument behind our golf tournament, our 5K. He came up with all kinds of fundraising ideas, and he brought us to you, and you have always supported us, and God bless you for everything you've done for us throughout the years.
Thank you very much.
And Mr.
Please accept our $10,000 donation.
Whoa!
From Quirk Auto Dealership.
Yeah,
it's an honor to be able to donate.
You're the man, Dan. God bless you, buddy.
Well, thank you. And if I can, it's a good time to remember that it's the birthday of the Marine Corps on November 10th. And the reason why I mention that is because when I was a pipe fitter, the mechanical contractor that I worked for, he was a veteran of Iwo Jima, and he was a Marine, and his birthday was November 10th. His name was John Kelty from Lowell. So the veterans and all the commitment and the things that the veterans have done for people in the United States, the least we could do is support our veterans.
Dan, I cannot thank you enough for such an incredible, generous donation, $10,000. We are talking with Dan Quirk, the owner, CEO of Quirk Auto Group. Dan, you've made my day. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Dan, God bless you, and a big thank you from everybody here at WRKO and at Disabled American Veterans. Okay, we gotta go. This hour of the DAV annual radiothon on WRKO, brought to you by Walmart. Call now. Be generous. Give whatever you can give. 978-632-1985. 978-632-1985. And auctioning $2,000 for an incredible dinner. Paul Wahlberg at Alma Novi. More next. 7:32 on the great WRKO. Jeff Kuhner, Boston's Bulldozer. 617-266-6868 is the number. Okay, welcome back to the WRKO's annual radiothon to benefit disabled American veterans. This hour is brought to you by Walmart. The number to call if you want to donate, 978-632-1985, 978-632-1985. And of course, we're still auctioning this incredible dinner with Paul Wahlberg at one of his exquisite restaurants. All kidding aside, Alma Novi. I'm teasing him about Alva Novi. Alma Novi. It is right by the harbor. Beautiful, stunning view. 10 people. Full course, 6-course meal. You're going to eat like a king and a queen. Trust me. Incredible wine. Really, Alma Novi is one of the best.
Oh, I'm so happy.
It truly is one of the best restaurants in all of Boston. You've got to go. It's an experience. We already have a bid for $2,000. Yes, baby. Do I hear $3,000? $3,000. Call 978-632-1985. 978-632-1985. Or if you prefer, you can do it through the website. It works as well.
Jeff, in regards to the auction, that they would have to call.
Oh, they have to call.
Yeah,
okay.
the website is only just straight for donations.
For donations.
So
okay.
if they're really trying to bid on the particular dinner that Paul
It's got to be the call, the phones.
Call.
I got you. Okay. So, if you want to bid on the dinner, we have a bid already for $2,000. 978-632-1985. Of course, you can call that number as well if you want to donate. And again, Kuhner Country, please give generously. Whatever you can give, $10, $25, $50, $100. I know times are tough, inflation and everything else. But I think we can scratch up a few dollars, all of us, to give to our wonderful veterans. And that you can do again by phone, 978-632-1985, or you can do it, via the website. Visit dav5k.boston, DAV, the number 5k.boston. Paul, buddy, I know you're happy now. I can finally pronounce the restaurant.
Your enunciation is perfect. Practice.
Now, Paul, I mean, you used to go to people's homes.
Yeah.
And, you would bring the plates, you'd bring the food, it didn't matter if it was a triple decker, you went up those stairs. You did whatever you had to do. This year, you're doing Alma Novi.
Yeah.
Why?
Why are you putting me on this? Because we want to give everybody the most beautiful setting possible and have the greatest, most gracious experience. Really, you're going to do this? But again, it's the opportunity to say thank you, you know, and really everybody needs to say thank you to all of our veterans, you know, regardless, especially, you know, this time of year and every opportunity you get, because we all know someone. We're either related to someone, we have a cousin, a nephew, whoever that is, parents, you know, especially, you know, people of our generation where, you know, everybody fought in, you know, World War II and Korea and the whole, and Vietnam. It's just all of it, and especially our soldiers now. And it's just very, very important for all of those people for us to say thank you. And then the ones that come back and the ones that are struggling, you know, we need to be there to support them. They supported us. We need to support them back.
Paul, you know, I got to say, and then I want to go to Bob Lynch, but, you know, it's not just you, and God bless you, but it's your brother Mark, it's your other brother Donnie, the Wahlbergs in general, the Wahlberg clan, very supportive of the military, very supportive of our veterans. And I'm just curious, why?
Well, my dad was in Germany at the end of World War II. He's a Korean War era veteran. And my uncle was in Italy, you know, my grandparents, you knew everybody back then, because when that call was made in World War II, everybody answered. And so people like that, and it was always something that we supported, you know, even going to, you know, being little and going to St. Patrick's Day and Dorchester Day and things like that, and you'd go to the parades when the cootie guys would go by, and everybody, my dad would make sure we had money. We got poppies at the right, we did the things that you're supposed to do to say thank you and be supportive, because, you know, they have first-hand knowledge.
Wonderful. Honestly, that's just wonderful. Bob, I want to ask you, Bob Lynch of the DAV, you've been with us here for so many years. What does Paul Wahlberg's immense, very generous success mean for you, for Dan Stack, for everybody at the DAV?
Well, I would say, first of all, that Paul's values are aligned perfectly with the DAV, the humble attitude, the behind-the-scenes work that he does, and giving. I think that's what, if there's one word that we talk about with the DAV, people associated with the organization, the employees, the vendors that we work with, all people who are giving and want to help people, which we mentioned Lou Pasquale's name earlier. I would say that was his mantra. I just want to help people. And so I think that's what we need to remember, and that's what Paul stands for. Let's help one another.
Dan, I know Dan Stack, please.
Paul has, as Bob just said, Paul has worked behind the scenes. We happen to have a DAV 5K that's coming up on Saturday, and part of the experience for all of the runners that come happen to be the food vendors that are there that provide free all of their little cuisines that they bring to the 5K. And we wouldn't have a one of them if it weren't for the first one that came, and that was Paul Wahlberg. Paul Wahlberg has gotten all of these vendors to give and give generously. Our 1,600 runners that are going to be there that day enjoy.
You didn't tell me it was that many. I don't have enough food now.
I know you're.
It's going to be a bit of a struggle.
I heard you're going to be cutting those hamburgers in fourths. But anyway,
we are now.
Yeah. But anyway, it wasn't for Paul. In fact, this is a funny story. We contacted one of the vendors one year on our own and said, geez, could you help us out? Could you do something? And he said, geez, to be honest with you, I've got other commitments, can't make it that particular day. Gets a call from Wahlberg. Next thing I know is I'm getting a call right back. Says, yeah, we'll be there. He was there himself. So anyway, Paul, if it weren't for you, we wouldn't have all these great
No, I will tell you, I have very little to do with this. I'm given the chance to support. And the restaurants, that's the one thing I love about my industry and what I do and what I love and what's my passion is the restaurants step up. When that call goes out for any type of fundraiser, anything like that, the restaurant business shows up, and there's so many supportive people in our industry. It's amazing, and I'm just so proud to be part of it. And these restaurants come because they want to, and they want to be supportive. They want to be out there, and the connections that they make, and it's great for everyone. It really is. It's a great experience because you look at the runners, they're out there, they're setting their goals, they're going out, competing and doing their thing. And then you have the restaurants who get to be out there and be supportive, and then all of the other people who come out to be supportive. It's a great day. It really is. And all of these types of events are just they're great for you, they're great for your soul, and they're supportive, and they really kind of, put everything in perspective for us.
I couldn't say it, really honestly, couldn't have said it better myself. Okay, everybody, Kuhner Country, we have given very generously over the years. These wonderful veterans have been there for us. We now need to be there for them. The number to call, 978 632-1985 if you want to give, 978-632-1985 if you prefer through their website. You can definitely give there. A lot of people are donating. DAV5K.Boston, DAV, the number 5K.Boston. We have a $2,000 bid on an incredible auction for 10 people, 6-course meal with wine at Paul's incredible restaurant. You've got to go there. Alma Nove. It is Alma Nove. And really, $2,000 is going to be the experience of a lifetime. If you want to make a bid, $3,000. Trust me, you're getting a bargain. 978-632-1985. More, don't touch that dial. Welcome back to WRKO's annual Radiothon to benefit DAV, Department of Massachusetts. As I always say, it's my favorite show of the year, and this hour is brought to you by Walmart. Okay, if you want to give, please call 978-632-1985, 978-632-1985, or if you prefer, you can visit DAV5K.Boston, DAV, the number 5K.Boston. And joining us now, it is my distinct honor and pleasure, Chris Buchanan. He is the Director of Public Affairs at Walmart for New England. Chris, thank you so much for coming on the Kuhner Report and joining us for our annual Radiothon here at WRKO to benefit DAV, Department of Massachusetts. How are you, Chris?
Absolutely. I'm great. Couldn't be better this morning, Jeff. Thanks for having me on, and thanks very much for you and WRKO for this partnership with the DAV and trying to get the word out to support the DAV. They're a wonderful organization, one that Walmart supported pretty consistently for a while now, and rightfully so. But overall, it's interesting. I mean, obviously, Veterans Day is Monday, and a lot of focus on Veterans Day, on that particular day. But, Walmart, we support veterans all year long. Just a quick example, we've hired more than 400,000 veterans and military spouses since 2013.
Wow.
And just so proud and happy to do so.
Wow. Chris, I'm just curious. Many veterans groups out there, obviously Walmart, I mean, that is a stunning figure. That is an incredible figure that you just gave. Why the DAV? Of all the groups out there, why Disabled American Veterans for the Department of Massachusetts?
Absolutely. And if you talk to the folks in the DAV, sometimes they're a forgotten group. And they do such wonderful work. They provide, such a wide variety of services for disabled vets, here in Massachusetts and across the country for that matter. So just a wonderful group to get behind. And, again, thanks to RKO for getting the word out here today. Hopefully folks will, dial for dollars. That's what it's all about. But, on the business side with Walmart too, we do a ton of business with, veteran-owned businesses across the country. And we've invested, over $1 billion. That's $1 billion with a B.
Wow.
So, we definitely put our money where our mouth is as a company.
That is great to hear. That is really inspiring and great to hear. Chris, Dan Stack is with us here in studio. He is the executive director of the DAV Department of Massachusetts. He wants to say a few words. Dan, please.
Chris, thank you very much for sponsoring this hour. As you know, by you sponsoring it, every single donation that is called in goes in direct service to veterans and what their needs. But more importantly, I also want to thank Walmart because we have had a long-term relationship with you. And that relationship has helped us with the zip trips that Channel 25 has. And those zip trips allow us to get the DAV message out and, again, letting people know on the local level where they can go get services as a veteran if they're in need. And that is because of Walmart and also your generosity. As you know, at the end of Zip Trips, you presented us with a $15,000 check, which goes directly into veteran services. So once again, Walmart puts its money where its mouth is, and thank you very much for your support and help.
Absolutely, and I think I didn't even mention the dollar amount this morning. You can count on us for another $15,000.
Are you serious?
I'm very serious.
Whoa, Chris! Yeah, Chris, that's what I'm talking about.
God bless, Chris. Thank you very much. That'll be well used.
Absolutely, happy to support you guys as always.
Chris, God bless you, Bob. I know Bob Lynch. You want to say something to Chris?
Yes.
Bob Lynch with the DAV. He's been with them forever. Go ahead, Bob.
Yes, Chris, I can't say thank you enough for your generous donation. In working the partnership with the DAV has been tremendous over the years, and we can't thank you enough.
Thanks very much.
Chris
Happy
Buchanan, Director of Public Affairs at Walmart for New England. Chris, from the bottom of my heart, from me, my whole audience, all the disabled veterans, and of course everyone here in studio, thank you so much, Chris, and have a wonderful weekend. Thanks once again. God bless you.
Good, you too. Thanks very much. God bless.
Take care, Chris. Wow, that's whoa. I mean, that's a nice check. You know, I mean, it's.
Yep. The other thing that Chris didn't mention is Walmart also has a team that's going to be running in the DAV 5K, so we're looking forward to that too. They're a great support to the Disabled American Veterans Department.
Oh,
of Massachusetts.
That's really nice to hear. Okay, now joining us now, they just keep coming one after another. By the way, just very quickly, I know a lot of people are listening and they're texting me saying, "Jeff, I want to give." And again, I really want to stress this. You ask any of these disabled veterans, it's not the amount, it's the thought. Please, whatever you can give. I know times are tough. Whatever it is, $20, $50, $100, whatever you can give. Call 978-632-1985, 978-632-1985, or if you prefer, you can give online. Visit dav5k.boston, DAV, the number 5, K.Boston, and we've got an incredible auction. Paul Wahlberg is sitting 3 feet away from me on my left. Yes, he's the co-founder of Wahlburgers, and I urge all of you want a delicious burger, go to Wahlburgers and fries and everything on the menu. But he's got one of the hottest, most incredible restaurants in the entire greater Boston area, Alma Nove, and he is going now to provide you, listen to this, 10-person meal, 10 people, 6 courses, succulent, delicious, outstanding food with incredible bottles of wine, top-notch stuff. We've got a bid for $2,000. It's going to be, and the view itself is stunning. You're going to be right by the harbor. It's going to be the experience of a lifetime. Already an offer for $2,000. Can I get $3,000? If you want to make a bid, call 978-632-1985, 978-632-1985. Okay, joining me now, and it is also clearly my distinct honor and pleasure, is Phil Nadeau. He is a DAV 3rd Junior Vice Commander, U.S. Air Force and Iraq veteran. Phil, thank you so much for coming on the Kuhner Report on this very special day, our annual radiothon to benefit the DAV. And before I even ask you anything, I want to thank you for your service from the bottom of my heart. Phil, how are you?
Great. Thank you. I appreciate you allowing me to come on your show.
Phil, truly my honor. Phil, I'm just curious. You obviously served our country. You're an Iraq War veteran. As I said, you're someone who served in the Air Force. And you came out of the military, and you had to transition to becoming a civilian. How was that transition process for you? And what did the DAV do to help you in that all-important, crucial transition?
The transition was very rough. For the first 5 years, I ended up wanting to kill myself back in 2010, and somebody from the DAV saved my life. They got me the help that I needed. They got me the counseling I needed. And since then, I have given back to the DAV. I was the HSC for the last 18 months, which is for the DAV transportation network that we have. We give veterans rides to their VA appointments, VA community care appointments. They're all volunteer drivers. They help the community also. They work with the community. We've had over 750,000 volunteer hours since the DAV transportation started in 1987. We drove over 10,663 miles and 750,000 volunteer hours from our drivers. It's just an amazing program. It's an amazing group of people we work with. It's just a great program altogether.
Phil, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but so you're basically saying you were contemplating suicide, and because of the DAV and the help that they were able to give you, you're essentially alive today. I mean, am I misstating it?
That's 100%. That's 100% correct. Yes, sir. It is. Absolutely.
Wow. And Phil, now I know you volunteer as well. You help out the DAV with transportation.
Yes, I do. I help coordinate rides and getting veterans back and forth to their VA appointments, VA community care appointments. And we're not just about giving rides, we're also about community. So if someone needs food or they need a place to live or whatever, we get them to the right information to davma.org, and they can go on that website to find other needs that they need in the community. There's also food pantries. There's so many different things that the DAV provides that helps. That's why this is important. This radiothon is very, very important. The more we get, the more we can help people.
Kuhner Country, everybody listening, please listen to Phil. The DAV saved his life. And there are countless other veterans just like him. And this is why you need to give generously. And it's not just that they help people with mental health issues or, God forbid, they're suicidal, but people are hungry, they get them meals. Homeless veterans, they get them a place to stay. Doctor's appointments, medical appointments, anything that they need, the DAV is there for them. So please, I'm urging all of you, please call 978-632-1985, 978-632-1985. Give as much as you can possibly give, or if you prefer, dav5k.boston. Go to dav5k.boston. Phil, I know you're busy, but before we let you go, Dan Stack, the executive director of DAV Department of Massachusetts, wants to say a few words. Please go ahead, Dan.
I personally want to thank Phil for basically all of his volunteerism with the disabled American veterans. It's Phil has helped us during a difficult period of time in transitioning with our DAV HSC program. Phil took it over and did the entire state. We transitioned in a way that we were able to provide more rides, as he mentioned, than previously, and that is due to Phil's leadership. In fact, because of his leadership in that program, our department at our annual convention elevated him to the 3rd junior vice position because his leadership is cherished and his volunteerism too. Thank you, Phil, for all that you have done. And Jeff, just to let you know, the latest text is people are listening to you. We have now a $3,000 bid for the dinner.
Yes. Excellent. Phil, before I let you go, Bob Lynch, I know you want to weigh in. Go ahead, Bob.
Yes, Phil, just want to say thank you for what you do. And the transportation program was one of the things that was near and dear to my heart years ago when we were trying to raise money for the transportation program, and that's where Mr. Quirk was very helpful to us. But I want to thank you for all you do. Thank you.
I appreciate all you guys. I appreciate your kind words. Thank you.
Phil, before I let you go, and if I'm getting too personal, please tell me. I promise I won't be offended. Are you feeling okay? Are you feeling better? Your mental health and everything is everything fine?
My mental health comes and goes. I go to a therapist, so I'm still getting help because you can't stop getting help. But in order to get help, you need funding. So the only way to do that is by helping us out here. So this is, but my mental health is getting there. Every day is a challenge, but I'm getting there.
God bless you, Phil. I'm not just saying this to say it. I really mean this. Dan Stack has my private number. Bob Lynch has my private number. You need anything from me, and I mean anything, okay? You give me a call.
Yes, sir.
Promise?
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you for your service again. God bless you. Okay, my friends, please, let's do this. We can get $4,000. I know we can get 4G. I'm telling you, at 4,000, it's still a steal. I'm telling you. We're auctioning off an incredible 6-course dinner with some of the best wine you're ever going to have. Stunning view, Alma Nove. It is Paul Wahlberg's incredible restaurant. It is the talk of the town. Call now, $4,000, experience of a lifetime, 978-632-1985, 978-632-1985. Do I hear 4,000? I think I hear 4,000. Now, if you just want to donate, you can also donate. This is not for the auction. This is just for a straight donation. Go to dav5k.boston, dav5k.boston. And of course, as always, and again, really, honestly, every little, as Phil said, to help him get to his therapist so he can continue to get the mental health assistance that he needs. $20, $50, $75, $100, $10. Every little bit helps. Let's do this for Phil. Call now, 978-632-1985. That's the number to call if you want to donate. 978-632-1985. The last hour, 7 o'clock hour of the annual Radiothon was sponsored, brought to you by Walmart. This hour is brought to you by Kelly Financial Services. Before we get to the Jason Wolf, we got a couple of minutes. Paul Wahlberg is maybe 3 feet away from me. Paul, I know you want to thank a lot of vendors, a lot of people in the restaurant industry and business who support our veterans. Please go ahead, Paul.
Like I said earlier, the importance of restaurants to, they always step up in these times and these events. So it's great. And to be able to say, thank you to Gourmet Caterers, Landmark Public House, Montilio's. George Montilio is always there, always steps up. He is the man. I absolutely adore George. Dave, the sausage guy, again, another guy who always shows up and is always there to support. Chef's Table, Mark Ellis, his group is just unbelievable, and they're always willing to help. Navarro Abbey Park, which, is coming on this year for the first time, and they're an amazing group, and they just do, again, people who care. Lambert's, rather. Oh my God. I'm from Dorchester and I can't even get that right. Growing up with Lambert's, we know who they are. We know what they mean, and they've always been there, always been supportive. We have Bali, which is, this will be their first year, and obviously Wahlburgers is there, and so great. And, I want to say thank you to our entire Wahlburgers team because they always make it happen. And my brother Bob always comes out. He brings a group of guys, and they always want to be there to support. And it's important to everybody. And you see all the volunteers volunteers there, and you can't thank them enough because they do all of the hard work. They get everything set up. They tell people where to go. They usually tell me where to go all the time, but that's just another thing. But you have that core of people who make it happen. All of the people behind the scenes who really make every one of these things. And, obviously RKO with the Radiothon and Kuhner, all of the stuff that you do, it's just amazing. And it's so great to be surrounded by so many amazing people.
Paul, there's a rumor going around. It's just a rumor. It hasn't been verified or corroborated. But are you thinking of coming out with a Kuhner burger?
Yeah, we're working on that. But the roadkill burger was taken. So yeah, we're trying to figure out something. But you just can't get the right personality and the right spice to match the person, and that's really what it is. We really want to pay tribute to that person, and so we're really working on it behind the scenes. We got the whole team really trying to make this happen for you.
Somebody get me a towel. Jeff.
Dan, I know you wanted to say something. Go ahead, my friend.
As you know, Mr. Quirk mentioned about the Marine Corps and the fact that it was their birthday coming up. But a couple of years ago, we had the Marines all running in unison at our DAV 5K. And Mr. Montilio, George Montilio, made a special cake for that particular year, that anniversary, and it had the Marine Corps emblem on it. I've never seen anything taken so many pictures and put on social media. Yep. That cake was unbelievable, and it fed 1,500 people.
It was amazing. Wow. What he did. It was amazing, and again, George and his team always steps up. It just the best guy, really is.
Please, Kuhner Country, give. The lines are open. You need, if you want to donate, it's 978-632-1985. I know many of you are calling. Donations are coming in. Please, let's give generously. 978-632-1985. If you prefer, you can donate via the website. A lot of traffic there as well. DAV5K.Boston. DAV5K.Boston. The 5 is just the number 5. Now, we also have a $3,000 bid. It's something very special. All kidding aside, it's a wonderful experience at Alma Nove. 10 people, 6-course meal. I'm talking from beginning to end, appetizer to dessert. You're going to have a true culinary experience of a lifetime. Incredible bottles of wine, beautiful view of the harbor. We have a bid for $3,000. I would love to have somebody call in at 978-632-1985. Bid $4,000. Do I hear $4,000? It's for an incredible cause. And really, it's a night you will remember for the rest of your life. You'll meet Paul Wahlberg. He will come to your table, shake your hand, talk to you, and really see what an incredible restaurant Alma Nove is. Okay, very, very quickly, I just want everybody to know that Jason Wolf is going to be coming on, but it's going to be in about 20 minutes. So hopefully Jason will present us with a very nice check as well. Kuhner Country, Veterans Day is on Monday. Very special time of the year. Disabled American veterans. They help all kinds of veterans. Homeless veterans, hungry veterans, veterans who've lost their limbs, veterans suffering from PTSD. We heard from Phil. Poor man came back from Iraq, wanted to kill himself. He was suicidal. DAV got him the help that he needed. So every dollar that you send in, you are helping the veterans who most need our help. Let's not forget them. They have never forgotten us. Call 978-632-1985 if you want to donate, 978-632-1985, or go to DAV5K.Boston, DAV, the number 5, 5K.Boston. Trust me, a lot more on the way. Don't touch that dial. And this hour brought to you by Kelly Financial Services. 20 on the the great WRKO, Jeff Kuhner, Boston's Bulldozer. 617-266-6868 is the number. Okay, my friends, today is a very, very special day. It is the annual WRKO Radiothon to benefit Disabled American Veterans, Department of Massachusetts. I can't tell you already, Kuhner Country, you have responded. People are lighting up the phones. They are going on the website, donating money. Please, whatever you can give, $5, $10, $20, $30, $40, $50, $100. Everything is appreciated. Call now, 978-632-1985. That is the number to call if you want to donate. 978-632-1985. You can also go to dav5k.boston, dav5k.boston, and this hour of the annual Radiothon here on WRKO to benefit DAV, Department of Massachusetts, is brought to you by none other than Kelly Financial Services. And joining me now in studio, right to my left, is none other than William Kelly Jr. William, how are you?
I'm great. Now that I'm in the lab. You work in a beautiful place, I have to say. This place
thank you.
Magnificent.
Thank you. Well, iHeart treats me well, I have to say.
Clearly, it's a beautiful place. This is my first time ever coming here, and it is so interesting. The people here are fantastic. The people I've met today are wonderful. I met two veterans today, a man named Charlie and a man named Leo, and I am just so impressed by the turnout every single year that the DAV experiences, because it is such a wonderful charity. There's a reason why we've supported this charity for a long time. My father was a veteran himself. In my mother's side of the family, we have many veterans in our family. It is an honor to support these folks every single year. So it's a pleasure to be here. It's great to meet everybody in person. This is wonderful. This has seriously been a great morning, and I'm so happy. I'm just so happy that these folks exist. I'm so grateful for our veterans, so I'm able to speak to you here today, and I'm able to enjoy a nice life with people that I love and that love me back. I'm able to speak and say what I want to say. I have the right to free speech, to all these things, thanks to these folks. So this Veterans Day weekend, remember that, ladies and gentlemen.
Really well said. Really, really well said. William, obviously, Kelly Financial Services, you've been sponsoring our show for a long time. You've been sponsoring the DAV for years and years. This hour is brought to you by by Kelly Financial Services. I know you're speaking for your dad. May God bless him. He's up in heaven. And your mom, who is really now taken over Kelly Financial and done an incredible job. Why does the DAV mean so much to you, your mom, and your family?
Well, to me, it's because our family has supported it. Then I naturally inherit that, right? And what I truly do love about this organization is that it is indiscriminate. It is basically all of the money they make goes to veterans. Those are the type of charities that I respect very much so, similar to My Brother's Keeper. So a charity like this is a very special one. My father was a veteran, so I'm sure that's definitely a big cause for why he donated to the DAV, why he supported it. And I mean, we're just patriots, and it's the right thing to do, in my opinion.
God bless you. God bless you. Dan, I know you want to say a few words to William. Please, go ahead.
Well, first of all, it was great to meet him for the first time. I've only known the voice over these years to come in. I did tell him personally outside. I was never touched so much by him the day that he called in after his father's passing and emptied out his bank account to donate to the DAV in honor of his father. That was amazing to me. And thank you, William, for that. That is
my
always
pleasure. Well, I have some good news for you guys today. Kelly Financial Services is donating $2,000 and I will be donating $2,000 from my savings account again.
Wow,
And,
William.
It's my pleasure.
William, God bless you, man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, I've saved a lot of money over the years, and I feel like to support a charity like this is just a great idea. And so does Kelly Financial. Everybody at Kelly Financial loves this charity. We're always happy to support them. And it's my pleasure. It's a privilege to be able to. So thank you for having
William,
me.
can you just hang on, because we've got Corey Hasselman. He is a former resident of DAV Veteran Advancement Program. He is a Marine Corps veteran. We've got him on the phone with us right now, and we've got limited time. Corey, thank you for joining us. How are you, Corey?
I'm doing fantastic. Just glad to be here and to be a voice for DAV.
We're talking with Corey Hasselman, Marine Corps veteran, longtime supporter of the DAV. Corey, for everybody listening, why should they give to the DAV? Why do you care so much about the DAV?
I'm sure there's a few people out there who've heard my story at this point, but the DAV essentially saved my life. A few years ago, probably about 4 years ago now, I was in a very serious mental health situation, and I couldn't think of any answer but to just kind of end it all. And I ended up going to an orientation at Mount Wachusett Community College and hearing from Kayla Balila, who runs the advancement program. And she talked about housing that they had behind the Mount. She talked about the benefits that veterans get when they're housed there. And I figured, let's give it a shot. What's the worst that happens? I can't get in a worse position than I am right now. So let's go. I applied. I got in there. And this is what I mean. Like, the DAV gave me this huge hand up. They reached out to me. They gave me case management. They helped me file disability. They got me, they met me up with a mortgage broker. They helped me with school. They gave me a bunch of supplies, food, clothes, furniture for my apartment that they gave me. I mean, if you name it, they did it. It gave me time to focus on myself, focus on my family, and just be a much better, healthier place. And then from that, I decided, I mean, this is where my passion is now, that I want to do the same thing for the next group of veterans that comes through. And I joined the DAV as a member, and I've been able to use that membership to help the next veteran. You know, we fight for legislation. We go to Capitol Hill. We plead with politicians. We have the transportation to and from VA networks. I mean, if there is a need for a veteran, the DAV, the Disabled American Veterans, is there to support them. And I think the Department of Massachusetts specifically exemplifies that next level. Because of the housing. I mean, the housing is instrumental. We all know there's a housing crisis, and veterans are not the minority in that.
Corey, I'm sorry, I'm just getting a little emotional listening to you. Are you okay now? Are you feeling better?
I am in a much better place. I mean, I'm a chapter commander now. We do monthly meetings. I mean, I do everything I can to be in the DAV because it's a safe place for me, and it keeps me going. Yeah.
Corey, you're kind of breaking up on us now, but Corey, if you can still hear me, I want to thank you for your service from the bottom of my heart, and may God bless you, and thank you for everything you've done for our country. Corey Hasselman, a Marine veteran, longtime supporter of the DAV. Please, Kuhner Country, give and give generously. 978-632-1985. 978-632-1985. More next. Welcome back to the Kuhner Report. This is Jeff Kuhner, Boston's bulldozer. My favorite show of the year, the WRKO DAV Department of Massachusetts Radiothon right here. The number to call if you want to donate, 978-632-1985, 978-632-1985. And of course, as always, you can visit them and donate online, dav5k.boston, DAV, the number 5, k.boston. This hour of the annual Radiothon here on RKO to benefit the DAV, Department of Massachusetts, brought to you by Kelly Financial Services. And joining me now is really Dan Stack's number 2, Mike Valilla. He is the adjutant for the DAV, Department of Massachusetts. He, of course, served in the U.S. Army. He is an Iraq War veteran. Mike, it is a true honor and pleasure, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your service. God bless you, Mike.
Thank you for having me today, Jeff.
It's a true honor. Mike, I'm just curious. You've been obviously with the DAV for a while now. You're starting to fill some very big shoes. You're really Dan Stack's right-hand man. Why the DAV? What drew you to the DAV?
It's a great question, Jeff. So I guess I'll go back in time to bring us to where we are today. I deployed to Iraq in 2010. When I came home, it was a big media scrum for them to get us home in time for Christmas, bring the troops home for Christmas. So they brought us in on Christmas Eve. We had a really short demobilization process compared to the normal length of a demo. When we got home, the holidays, everybody wants to come and see you, welcome you back at the same time. It was very overwhelming. And what happened at that time is I really just shut down. I wanted to be at home. I wanted to be with my wife, with my kids, with my family. But really just had that feeling of numbness. I was going through the motions, per se. I was able to find my way into Veterans Transitional Housing, which DAV actually now runs today. And while I was in that housing, I was able to get assistance through DAV doing my own disability claim. I was able to get my education. I was able to get a great job at the time. A few years down the road, I was working naturally with veterans through my own capacity, and a former national commander of DAV found me and said, "Hey, you should come and work for DAV." Long story short, I did. I became a national service officer with the organization at the time. After a few years with that and past the pandemic, I moved over to the State Department, which then led me to the role that I'm in today. And now in my capacity, I oversee all of DAV here within Massachusetts, our transportation network, our voluntary service programs, all of our claim and service offices across the state, our housing program, really everything in a nutshell. So it's really nice to be in this position now to continue to give back to the veterans, who we serve here within the Commonwealth.
Mike, if you don't mind me asking, and again, if I'm getting too personal, please tell me. You have given already so much to our country. You volunteered to serve. You went to Iraq. You came back. As you said, it was a numbing experience for you, overwhelming even to make the transition from the military to civilian life. You've already given so much. Why do you feel compelled to give even more to veterans and especially disabled veterans?
Jeff, I think it's something that you're just born with, that feeling of the duty to serve others. I did my time in the military, and when I got out of the military, I still felt that need to continue serving my fellow man. I did it for a while working in social services and for a few state agencies, the Department of Education. But when I found my way into DAV, working with fellow veterans, it felt like I was still serving, but in a new capacity, by working with vets every day and helping them with their benefits. See, the benefit of working with DAV, an organization like ours, is VA can be very complicated at times. In fact, a lot of state and federal benefits and programs can be very confusing at times. DAV and the advocates within our organization help veterans through that, explain the whole process to them, help them apply for these benefits and attain them, and do it in an easily digestible manner, not just for the veteran, but for their family. And where DAV helped me and made such a huge impact on my life, I was compelled to then help others and continue serving in that way.
Oh, God bless you, Mike, really. We're talking with Mike Valilla, key person now at the DAV. Really, Dan Stack's number 2. He has given so much. He continues to help disabled American veterans, homeless veterans, hungry veterans, disabled veterans, veterans battling mental illness or mental health issues. Please, let's not forget those who were there for us. Call now, 978-632-1985. Kuhner Country, as Mike will tell you, as every disabled veteran around me will say, it's not the donation amount that matters. It's the thought. Just to hear that phone ring, just to see that you care. It could be $1. It doesn't matter. $5, $10, $25, $50, $100, 978-632-1985. Or if you prefer, you can go to dav5k.boston, dav5k.boston. Okay, joining me now on the phone is Jason Wolf from Money Matters Radio, the Financial Exchange. Jason, we thought we were going to have you in studio about maybe, or at least on the phone, maybe 30 minutes ago. But I hear you had a toothache. Is that true?
I had a little cleaning, Jeff. I got myself over to the dentist this morning. She took care of me. She didn't hurt me too badly, and just a little bit of bleeding. But I'm all cleaned up. I'm in good shape. It's a beautiful day, and it's a pleasure to be with you as always.
Well, I'm just thinking, Jason. Disabled veterans, toothache. Disabled veterans, toothache. I'm just saying, Jason. The guys in Afghanistan and Iraq. When the bullets are flying. You think they're saying, "Oh, my tooth hurts"? I
don't think so, Jeff. I don't think so. Those guys are a hell of a lot tougher than me. No question.
Jason, all kidding aside, and we've known each other many years, Jason and I. He's a really stand-up guy. Jason, you've always been a big supporter of the veterans. I know that. Why the DAV? I'm just curious. Why does Disabled American Veterans, for you, stand out from all the other veteran groups?
Well, it's a terrific organization, and the owners of our company have a long history of supporting veterans, and so they have been contributing to many different causes over the years. But when we were given the opportunity a few years ago to get involved with the DAV of Massachusetts and be a part of the 5K, which, as you know, takes place tomorrow at Castle Island in South Boston, it was really a no-brainer to take our support to the next level. And not only did we use and donate airtime from the Financial Exchange to help run promos, to help push stories, to do interviews, but we also got our entire office involved, and we created a team where people joined us to run and help raise money for the cause. And we're going to have almost all of our people out there tomorrow. They've been there for the last several years with us, and it's really become a labor of love. And, honestly, Jeff, it's extremely personal. There's a million great causes out there, as you know, and certainly great veterans causes. But when you see the kind of work that Dan and Mike and their team have done, it's hard to top. It really is. And so it's a very special, meaningful relationship for me personally and for our office and our team. And we couldn't be more excited to be a part of it.
Jason, you echo my thoughts exactly. That's why I always support the DAV. They help out so many of our disabled veterans. And Jason, look, you have been a warrior, all kidding aside, a real warrior on behalf of the DAV. And I want to thank you, truly, from the bottom of my heart. I know Mike is here in studio with me, Bob Lynch. We got Paul Wahlberg and William Kelly Jr. from Kelly Financial Services. Jason, you're always very generous. We're looking forward to a nice donation, Jason. Are we going to be happy or are we not going to be happy?
Oh, you're going to be very happy. We're going to put some big smiles on people's faces today because we're going to make our annual donation to the DAV of $5,000.
Yes!
And we're excited to do it.
Yes, baby! Yes!
We couldn't be more pleased. We know the money goes to help some terrific people, to support some amazing programs, And as I said before, it's really a labor of love and a true pleasure to be able to be a part of this.
Jason, again, I want to thank you from me, from everybody. I know Mike quickly wants to say a few words. Mike Valilla, a few words of thanks. Please go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, Jason, thank you so much for you and your team, for all you do for us with the department, and especially for this donation. You know personally how far that goes with us helping support our housing programs, our transportation network, our claim and service offices, and so many other programs that we provide free for our veterans around the Commonwealth. We couldn't have asked for a better partner than you, Jason.
Well, it's great to hear, Mike. I really appreciate it. And it's such a pleasure to work with you and Kayla and the whole team. We're excited to get out there tomorrow. It looks like it's going to be a terrific day and a record number of runners from what I hear. So let's get out there and have a great event. And I hope the phone keeps ringing today. I've been listening all morning, and you guys are doing a terrific job.
Thank you once again, Jason. God bless you, my friend. And honestly, Jason, you always deliver. So big thank you from everybody. Okay, 978-632-1985 if you want to donate. That was Jason Wolf from Money Matters Radio, the Financial Exchange. 978-632-1985. More next. Welcome back to the Kuhner Report. Okay, my favorite show of the year, our annual Radiothon to benefit disabled American veterans here on the great WRKO. And this hour of our Radiothon brought to you by Kelly Financial Services. If you want to donate, 978-632-1985. 978-632-1985. They're ringing the phones off the hook, so please keep calling, keep giving. If you prefer, you can go right to the website, give as well. DAV5K, just the number 5, DAV5K.Boston, DAV5K.Boston. Please give whatever you can. $10, $25, everything is appreciated. $50, $100. Kuhner Country, again, I cannot tell you the smiles I see on our veterans' faces, our disabled vets, to know that you are there with them, standing shoulder to shoulder. And whenever that phone rings or whenever a donation is given, believe me, they see it, they hear it, and they deeply, deeply appreciate it. Look, I want to stress again, I know Mike Valilla did a wonderful job laying out everything that the DAV does, but I really want to reemphasize to all of you, homeless veterans, they find them a place to stay. Hungry veterans, they will literally bring meals to their homes. They need to get their dental even their dental appointments, but their medical appointments, their go to the VA, get mental health treatment, whatever they need. The DAV even get their benefits processed. Believe it or not, a lot of veterans are denied benefits. The DAV makes sure they get their benefits. So this is what the DAV does. And in particular, those that have lost their legs, that have lost their limbs, that have come back with severe PTSD, severe mental health issues, including, yes, suicide or suicidal, everything, victims of Agent Orange in Vietnam. I spoke to Leo, one of a disabled veteran in the first hour of the show. Poor man now has Parkinson's, and it is ravaging his body because of Agent Orange. And he's telling us that he would do it all over again, because he loves this country and loves his fellow Americans so much. So the least we can do, they were there for us. Let us be there for them. Call 978-632-1985. Make a donation. Every little bit helps. Or visit DAV5K.Boston. DAV5K.Boston. I have William Kelly Jr. with me in studio. Mike Valilla, who really now is the number 2 at the VA Department of Massachusetts, the DAV Department of Massachusetts, forgive me. Mike, I'm going to go to you first, and then obviously William. What motivated you to want to join the military and, as you say, serve in the Iraq War? What was it that called to you and said, I've got to serve my country, even if it means putting my life on the line?
Yeah, great question. So I had family in the military, aunts, uncles, grandparents. It was something that I always aspired to as a kid. You go out to the local parades, Memorial Day, Veteran Day, you see the vets coming down the street, with the honor guard. They have the rifles, they have the flags, everybody in the crowd cheering for them. Or you watch a show on TV or movie and you see our soldiers, highlighted in that fashion. It's just something as a young kid you really want to aspire to. So as I got older, I knew I wanted to serve, but I was a late bloomer. A lot of people go right out of school. I didn't enlist until I was 21. I had kids when I was younger, right out of high school. I wanted to focus on building that foundation for my kids, for my family first. And then when I was 21, that just seemed like the time to go. Then I had a good structure built for myself and my family. Went in, again, phenomenal time while I was in the military. As far as the lifelong friends that I made out of service, those brothers and sisters that I served beside, I still am, family with today. And that's what led me to serving in this capacity still with DAV, is just that value of being able to give back and assist others. The sad truth is, a lot of veterans go to the VA or to other state agencies or nonprofits looking for assistance, and they get pieces of it. They don't get the whole picture. The military doesn't even do a fantastic job upon discharge of telling you what benefits are out there, how to attain them. And that's where DAV steps in. We're that guiding light for veterans, help carry them through to the end so that they can live a life with dignity and respect.
God bless you. Just very quickly, Mike, before I get back to William Kelly Jr., do you feel that not our society, but that our government doesn't give disabled veterans in particular the attention, the care, the focus that they deserve and that they've earned?
I think that they try. I do think that there's a number of politicians that do try. But I think a lot of times things get caught up, in the House or in the Senate or wherever it is at that stage. And I really feel when it comes to veterans issues, it should just be bipartisan. It's the right thing to do. Support our veterans, pass forward this legislation if it makes sense to support them.
God bless you. No, you're dead on. Couldn't have said it better myself. I know we've got David Boyd on the line, but just very quickly, William, I want to thank you and Kelly Financial Services again for sponsoring this hour of the DAV for the Department of Massachusetts annual radiothon. Final thoughts before we let you go, William.
Absolutely. It's our pleasure. I want to say thank you to everybody here. But, Mike, I actually had a question for you. Now, you were showing me earlier on the website that in order to support the Massachusetts division, you have to go to a different website, not the primary one, the DAV.com. Now, I'm sure DAV.com is a great place to donate, but if you want to support Massachusetts DAV, where do I go?
Well, first of all, thank you for taking notes. What a wonderful student you are. So DAV, just to explain it to our listeners a little bit better, wonderful organization. We're one of the oldest, largest wartime veteran service organizations in the country, right? We're over 103 years old. If somebody goes to DAV.org or they go online and Google DAV, it's going to bring them to the main website. That's for our national organization who does a ton of great work, has wonderful service programs that they offer nationwide to all veterans. However, the money that National takes in doesn't benefit our State Department directly. That falls on us, DAV Department of Massachusetts, to fundraise on our own to support and facilitate our housing programs, our transportation network, to run our claims offices, so on and so forth. Everything that we do throughout the year supporting our veterans, and mind you, all of our services and programs are free to veterans and their family. We have to fundraise independently for that. So it's very important, if you want to support veterans here within the Commonwealth, to visit our website, davma.org. Thank you for that question.
Absolutely.
So davma.org. And for the purposes of this annual radiothon, you can go to DAV 5K. That's DAV 5K.Boston, DAV5K.Boston, or just call 978-632-1985, 978-632-1985. William, you're a spitting image of your dad. I got to tell you.
Thank you.
Let me shake your hand, my friend. God bless you. And thank you again for your incredible support.
And thank you for having me. It was my pleasure. God bless everyone. Happy Veterans Day weekend.
God bless you. Have a great weekend. Give my best to your mom.
Will do.
Take care.
And William, thank you very much. And please give my best to your mom. And we can't say enough about Kelly Financial and what you do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, 9 o'clock hour now. So this hour is brought to you by the Post 1917 Steakhouse in Reading. So please give generously. This is the RKO DAV Department of Massachusetts Radiothon. It's going to be happening all day. Take care, William. All day here on WRKO. It is my favorite show of the year. Again, if you want to give, 978-632-1985 or go to DAV5K.Boston. Okay, joining us now is David Boyd. He is the DAV National Service Officer. He is also a U.S. Army veteran. David, thank you so much for joining us here on the Kuhner Report. And before we even say anything, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your patriotism and your wonderful service to our country. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for that and the introduction. Thank you.
David, I'm just curious, for the audience out there, could you tell us a little bit about your military service and how was it when you finally decided to leave the military and make a transition to civilian life? How was it, and what did the DAV do for you?
So mine's a little different. I was in the Army from 2000 to 2005, doing intelligence work, mainly focusing on counterterrorism. I was deployed to Korea and then all through Central, South America, the Caribbean, doing counterterrorism work. When I first got out in 2005, I initially took a job as a government contractor doing the same work, so there wasn't really much of a change there. When I eventually moved back home to the Massachusetts area, excuse me, I went to school, got my degree, got out, wasn't really getting a job, eventually found a job to pay the bills, was going through not doing the best, not doing very good. One of my friends at the time actually worked for the DAV in the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania office, connected me to the, at that time, supervisor in Boston, and got with him. He actually got me into the DAV, got my initial claim done, and then got me hired to be one of the service officers in the Boston office, and that's where I've been for the past 10-plus years, helping veterans with claims. Just how they've helped me was I was not in pretty much a good place, not to get too much into it at the time, and then they were there to help me get the benefits, the disability compensation that I was due, and the job to help me kind of get back on my feet and back into a job and a career with a purpose.
You know, David, and I want to thank you for sharing that, David, because, you know, you're being obviously very honest with us. I keep hearing this again and again from veterans, why they love the DAV, why they support the DAV, and why they want everyone to give as generously as they can to the DAV. I keep hearing countless stories of vets like you who came back from war or serving our country and kind of fell through the cracks. The VA wasn't there for them. The government wasn't there for them. And you're out on your own. And whether it's PTSD issues, mental health issues, God forbid, you know, a leg is blown off or they're quadriplegic or paraplegic or whatever it is, they desperately need help and assistance. And that's where the DAV comes in. And I just want to ask you this, David, because you help so many veterans on so many levels. One of them being processing claims. And I think maybe people are listening like, processing claims? Well, yeah, for a lot of veterans, it's a maze. It's a lot of red tape. It's a lot of regulations. It's not easy. How many veterans do you encounter on a regular basis who've served our country, desperately need help, need the benefits that they have worked for and earned and they deserve, and yet aren't able to do it on their own? Is it infrequent, or is it more frequent than people would be surprised to hear?
I think it probably would be more frequent than they would be surprised to hear. Like, as you said, with anything with government, there's a lot of red tape, a lot of bureaucracy, not knowing the right terminology, not knowing what's actually required, what they need to provide or what they need to show is where a lot of veterans get lost. They don't understand how the process works. That's one of the things that we do in the office is we'll sit down with them. We'll explain the whole claims process, what it takes to get the service connection for the disability, how it works, how it's rated and evaluated, and what's needed and what they can do to help the claim along. But we're there to help them with the paperwork, as it can be confusing. Like I said, a lot of the terminology, the naming of things makes a very large difference on how claims are done and perceived.
We are talking with David Boyd. He is the DAV National Service Officer, U.S. Army veteran, served in Afghanistan doing intelligence for our country. David, final word to you before I let you go. I ask this of everybody. I've got to ask this of you. There are so many veterans groups out there. Why should people pick up the phone or go to the website and give to the DAV? What makes the DAV so special and so unique that differentiates it from other veterans groups?
Well, one of the biggest things is the DAV is strictly a service-forward organization. As Mike was saying earlier before I came on, everything that we do is free for veterans. We don't charge any money for the services we provide. That goes with submitting the claims and everything that goes through our office. We have great volunteers with the office and the National Service Program. As Mike can tell you, he went through it. It's a 16-month on-the-job training program, which is more rigorous and in-depth than any other service organization. So in that case, everyone's here to help the veterans do the same thing, all the organizations. I just feel that ours, at least on the service side, with our National Service Office, is the best and well-trained out of any of the other organizations.
David, again, thank you for everything you're doing now for our veterans, our disabled veterans, and thank you for your service to our country. Have a wonderful Veterans Day weekend, and God bless you, sir. Thank you so much, David.
Thank you. You too.
God bless. Okay, look, you heard it here from David. Our disabled veterans need so much. This is what the DAV does. That's why I'm so proud to hold this radiothon here at WRKO every single year. Call now if you want to give. 978-632-1985. 978-632-1985. You can also go to DAV5K.Boston, DAV, the number 5K.Boston, and this hour of WRKO's DAV Department of Massachusetts Radiothon is brought to you by Post 1917 Steakhouse in Reading. Kuhner Country, I want to make a personal appeal to all of you. Surrounded by these wonderful veterans, talking to many of them throughout the day today, both on and off air, you have to see these stories. These are veterans who have gone blind, veterans who've lost their hearing, veterans who've had parts of their faces blown off by IEDs, say in Afghanistan or Iraq, veterans who are crippled in wheelchairs. They'll never be able to walk again. Veterans who are battling cancer or Parkinson's because of, say, Agent Orange that was dropped during the Vietnam War. metal plates in their head. I could just go on and on and on. Many of them have severe mental health issues, PTSD. Many of them told me I contemplated suicide. You don't know the depths of the darkness in my mind. And I was thinking of just ending my life right here, right now. The DAV was there for them, gave them the mental health treatment that they needed, drove them to the doctor, took many homeless veterans off the streets, put a roof over their head. Many hungry veterans, literally, just go to their house and give them a meal. They are there for them. Let's show our support for the veterans who have given everything for us. So please, give as much as you can give. I mean it. Every little bit is appreciated. You have no idea. 978-632-1985, 978-632-1985, or if you prefer, visit dav5k.boston, dav5k.boston. And again, this entire hour is brought to you by the Post 1917 Steakhouse in Reading. Oh, Jeff Kuhner, Boston's bulldozer. Welcome back to our annual Radiothon to benefit DAV Massachusetts Department. My friends, we've had a great Radiothon so far. The lines are ringing. People are donating. Please, let's continue to give generously. If you want to donate, call 978-632-1985, 978-632-1985, or if you prefer, you can go online and donate there. Visit dav5k.boston, DAV, the number 5, k.boston. This entire hour of the WRKO DAV Department of Massachusetts Radiothon is brought to you by Post 1917 Steakhouse in Reading. And joining me right now in studio is the chef, the head chef, and the owner of Post 1917 Steakhouse in Reading, the man himself, Jason Caron. Jason, how are you?
Good morning. I'm great. Thanks for having me in here for such a great cause. It's a good morning to get up early. I really enjoy it.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for all your support, Jason. I've got to ask you, look, obviously you're a very successful chef. Post 1917 Steakhouse, to me, best steak in Massachusetts. I tell everybody, I always say this, I'll bet you the best steak at the Post 1917 Steakhouse. You have the finest, best, most tender, delicious steaks in the entire state. And I got to ask you this. You're a meat guy. You're a culinary man. You're a chef. Why do you care so much about our veterans? And in particular, Jason, disabled American veterans?
Well, we wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't for them. I'll tell you that much. I know a lot of people. Both my father and stepfather were in the services. We have very close people. Our father-in-law, John Freitas, up there in Reading. Want to give him a little shout out. He's a veteran. He's a retired firefighter, and these guys work hard. And you just have to give back because sometimes they get overlooked by big government. So it's up to us to help them out and do what we can.
God bless you, Jason. You talked about a little bit about some family members who served in the military. What does the military mean to you in particular?
Well, it protects us. It keeps our country safe, and it provides a pillow to sleep on at night because somebody's out there watching. So that means a lot to me, especially now. I feel like we're going to be even safer. So I'm excited to be here and to support all the military.
Jason, the DAV, obviously, look, you care about our vets. You're a patriot. You love our country. Honestly, God bless you. Why the DAV and not other veterans groups? What stands out for you about the DAV?
Well, you just said it right before the break. They're going to their houses. They're feeding them. They're taking them to doctor's appointments. They don't say no to anybody. They come and they help. And these veterans, disabled vets, need it. And the ones that have that severe PTSD that want to take their lives, they need a voice. They need somebody to talk to, and this is what they provide.
Well said. Well said. We are talking with Jason Karen. He is the head chef, the owner at the Post 1917 Steakhouse in Reading. If you haven't been, I'm telling you, you got to go. You're going to have the treat of your life. I know that Mike wants to personally thank you for sponsoring this entire hour, Jason. But before Mike does, just very quickly, really, seriously, all kidding aside, what is the secret? No, really, why are your steaks? Why is your food so freaking good?
Well, we make everything fresh in house. We buy the best ingredients, and it's very simple. We season everything, which you don't get a lot of seasoning. Sometimes people are like, "Oh, it's too salty." Well, no, we're actually seasoning to taste. So we buy the best. We make everything fresh. Everything is made in house. Everything. So I think that's why we do care. We push each other every day to be the best. And the steaks it's salt, pepper, put it on the broiler, and let's seal those juices in. And it is, they are. I have men and women, recently some veterans come in and say it's the best steak they've ever had. And that to me is the best compliment you can ever
no
get.
question. Oh, no question. Mike Valilla from the Department of the Department of Disabled Veterans. I know you want to say a few things to Jason. Go ahead.
Absolutely, Jason. Thank you so much for coming in today and for supporting DAV Department of Massachusetts. And thank you for your service as well. I heard you mention, your family that was in service, especially your father. I know that when you have a loved one serve, the whole family serves alongside them.
That's correct. And that, I'm glad you guys are doing this. It's hard work, but it's good work. So, keep going and God bless.
Jason, again, I want to thank you so much. Jason Karen, the head chef. He is the owner of the Post 1917 Steakhouse in Reading. This entire hour is being sponsored by Post 1917 Steakhouse. Trust me, you go to Post 1917 Steakhouse, you're going to have the best steak you've ever had. Bring yourself, your wife, your husband, your spouse, your family. It's going to be the treat of a lifetime. And you're also supporting a patriot. Jason, I want to shake your hand. Thank you so much, my friend. All the best to you. Continued success.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Jason. Okay, Sandy, I know we've got Andrea Gale Bennett on. Do you want to put her on? You want me to? Go straight to her? Okay. All right. So joining me now on the phone is Andrea Gale Bennett. She is the department senior vice commander. She's a U.S. Army retired brigadier general. Wow. From Massachusetts, an Iraq War veteran. Andrea, thank you so much for joining us on this very special day to support disabled American veterans. Department of Massachusetts, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. It's really my pleasure to be here and talk to you.
Oh, it's my pleasure, and I want to thank you for your service, Andrea. Andrea, why disabled American veterans? What is so special about the DAV compared to all the other groups out there?
Well, for me, what's special about it is in the name, Disabled American Veterans. We serve and we come home. We come home with strength, but we come home with burdens and injuries and illnesses. And Disabled American Veterans, the DAV, is here to support those who've sort of lost their footing, and it provides a space where they can see that they can still be useful and purposeful and successful. So that's what drew me to DAV.
Andrea, and if I'm getting too personal, please tell me, how did the DAV, the Department of Massachusetts, find you?
So they really did find me. People often say to me, "Oh, why did you choose the DAV?" But it really is that they found me. I was introduced by a colleague. His name is Coleman Nee, And he told me about this organization that he was a part of, and that he thought it would be a good fit for me. And he was very right about that. I did a little bit of research, and I discovered that they, as I said, they really seem to understand the veteran experience, especially the disabled veteran experience. And so I personally came home with what they call the invisible wounds of war, and everyone at DAV has a wound. So they understood me, and they're big on community service, and so was I, and that was actually how I got involved with them.
God bless you. We are talking with Andrea Gale Bennett. She is the department's senior vice commander. Again, U.S. Army retired Brigadier General, Massachusetts, Iraq War veteran, big supporter of the DAV, Department of Massachusetts. Andrea, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for your patriotism, your service, everything you've done for our country, and have yourself a wonderful Veterans Day weekend.
Well, thank you so much.
God bless you and take care. Okay, this hour has been brought to you by the Post 1917 Steakhouse in Reading. Please give generously, 978-632-1985 if you want to make a donation. 978-632-1985. Come on, Kuhner Country. Let's ring those phones off the hook. A lot more to come. 934 on the great WRKO. Jeff Kuhner, Boston's Bulldozer. 617-266-6868 is the number. Okay, this hour of the WRKO DAV Department of Massachusetts Radiothon is brought to you by the Post 1917 Steakhouse in Reading. All right, we've got $6,000 bid. I'm not kidding. $6,000 for an incredible dinner. It's for 10 people, 6-course meal, the best meal you're ever going to have. Trust me, at the Alma Nove restaurant. It is owned by Paul Wahlberg. He is going to be your personal chef. By the way, it includes wine, appetizers, dessert. He will be meeting you at the table, shaking hands, talking to people. Beautiful restaurant right by the harbor. It is one of the finest restaurants in all of Boston. When I tell you you're going to have the experience of a lifetime, trust me when I tell you this. Do I have $7,000? $7,000. Call now. 978-632-1985. It's an incredible deal. Plus, it's for a great cause. 978-632-1985. It's also the number if you just want to donate. 978-632-1985. $10, $20, $50, whatever. You can also donate by visiting the DAV website, dav5k.boston, DAV, the number 5k.boston. Okay, joining me now is Kayla Valilla. And if that name rings a bell, it's because she is married to Mike Valilla, who has been in studio with me now for over an hour. Really a key player now at DAV, the number 2 under Dan Stack. Kayla is a military spouse, very proud military spouse. She is also the director of the DAV Veteran Advancement Program. Kayla, how are you?
I'm doing well, Jeff. It's a pleasure to be on the show. I thank you for having me on here today.
Oh, it's my pleasure, and I want to thank you for your service. Military spouses do not get the credit that they deserve. And I know it's not easy. It's very difficult. A lot of trials and tribulations. And you have stood by Mike, and by standing by Mike, you've stood by me and everyone else in the country. So real, from the heart, thank you very much, Kayla.
I wouldn't picture my life any differently, you know. We actually got married before he went into the service and have been married, obviously, ever since. It's been quite some time now, but I've been involved with everything, you know, as a military spouse since the beginning. while they were deployed and helping, with the other kids of the families while their mom or dad was overseas, and just continued that volunteering ever since, pretty much. And then it's wound me up to where I am now.
Kayla, Mike talked about when he did come back from Iraq, serving our country proudly and heroically, that there was a very difficult adjustment period for him when he came back. And I'm just curious, again, if I'm getting too personal, please tell me. I promise I won't be offended. As a military spouse, as the wife of Mike, was it hard on you? Was it hard on the family as well?
I mean, at this point, we're certainly an open book, and I understand that can't be that way for everybody, especially when you're living it in the moment too. It's really difficult. But I guess, with that being said, my message to people too is also, you're not alone. There are other people that go through, those same trials and tribulations, and I think that's where DAV really comes in, and there is that membership body. And it's not just for the veterans. There's a family aspect of that as well. So there's an auxiliary component, which I am a part of because I did not serve. But we do have an auxiliary that also helps veterans and family members really getting together, helping them through, because we've been there. We've been through those things too. And it's just a really great support network to help everybody, get through those things that everyone's going through, and just finding those resources that are out there to assist them.
Kayla, I was talking to Mike off air, and he said, Jeff, you have no idea the kind of great housing programs we have. Homeless veterans, we give them a place to stay. But it's not just homeless vets, it's families. Literally, entire military families. Could you just slightly elaborate on that, please?
Yeah, so we do have currently a few different properties. They are located in central Massachusetts right now, and we will be expanding, and there will be more information to come on that, hopefully soon. But we have, in Gardner, we have 20 apartments. They're 2-bedroom condo-style units, and so because there's more than one bedroom, we are able to take in families there. There's not a lot of family housing that is out there in general, never mind for veteran families. So that is something that, we're really proud to be able to offer, and hopefully we'll be able to expand upon, in the years coming, because there is a need for that. And it's not just the female veterans, but it's the single dads too that are out there that need, family housing. So that's where we're able to really bridge that gap in housing that is out there currently, is providing that for, those single parents or, not single parents, but those that have children. So that's something that's really great. Currently, I have about 40 individuals at our Gardner facility, to include all the kids there. And it's just really great. We do some family fun events and things like that today, actually, during the radiothon. We've got our phone bank set up. And throughout the whole day, we're doing breakfast, lunch, and dinner for all of our residential clients at all of our facilities. And it's something that we've just done every year, since we've had these housing programs, and we continue it every year. And it's just another great way to get them all together, socialize, have some good food, and it's just a general good time.
Honestly, I can't thank you enough. Really, you do an outstanding job. The DAV does an absolutely outstanding job taking care of our veterans. And I just, just so that at the Kuhner Report, one of the things that makes my blood boil is when I hear about all of these homeless veterans that are sleeping in cardboard boxes, that are sleeping on the street. We sent them to war. Many of them were drafted, say like in Vietnam. They didn't ask to go to war, and we've turned our back on them. And that the DAV hasn't forgotten them, is there for them, gets them off the streets, gives them a place to stay, or say military families who are going through a very tough time. And you said, give them a place to put a roof over their head, to take care of them as they transition to civilian life. Kayla, you truly are doing the Lord's work. And so I want to thank you very much. I can tell, Mike is obviously a very impressive soldier. I just look at the size of the guy, his broad shoulders, his strong arms. So I wouldn't want to tangle with Mike. but he married up. Let me just tell you right now, Mike. Mike, am I wrong?
Oh, I sure did. Jeff. And you know, one thing I just want to comment off of what you just said there is one of the proudest points I think I have with our housing programs that Kayla runs is we're taking those veterans off the street, like you said. We're taking those families in. We're not just taking them in to give them a bed and then transition them out, as a lot of other programs unfortunately do. We have over 90% of our veterans that come into our programs. They're given all the resources they need to repair, rebuild their credit, get their VA claims taken care of, all the benefits that they deserve, to get their compensation, their incoming finances corrected. We assist them with education benefits if they're looking to attain a higher education or training program. And we have over 90% of the veterans who have discharged our programs move on to become first-time home buyers. So they're all moving in these, really positive lights. As Corey came on earlier and interviewed, told his story. There's just so many of them that have come through. It's a wonderful thing.
Mike, phenomenal. In other words, you put them back on their feet.
Absolutely. Kayla and her team over at the Veteran Advancement Program are wonderful, what they're doing for these veterans.
Kayla Valilla, I want to thank you again. Outstanding work. Military spouse, director of the DAV Veteran Advancement Program. Kayla, have a wonderful Veterans Day weekend. And again, from everyone here at WRKO, thank you.
Thank you, and happy Veterans Day to all the vets out there.
Happy Veterans Day. Okay, look, my friends, we've got one more segment left. Let's raise some money. 978-632-1985 if you want to donate. 978-632-1985. This hour of the RKO DAV Radiothon brought to you by the Post 1917 Steakhouse. 49 on the great WRKO. Jeff Kuhner, Boston's Bulldozer. Okay, welcome back. This is the final segment for this show, for the Kuhner Report, our annual radiothon to benefit the DAV Department of Massachusetts. It is sponsored this hour by Post 1917 Steakhouse in Reading. Look, my friends, this is going to continue all day here on WRKO. I know the Financial Exchange following us. They're going to have Dan Stack on, and so please don't turn that dial. You can continue to donate throughout the entire day. If the phones are busy, call back. If you want to give, and I'm urging everybody, please do, call 978-632-1985, 978-632-1985, or if you prefer, you can go online, go to dav5k.boston, DAV, the number 5k.boston. Okay, $6,000 is the latest bid that we have for a 6-course dinner for 10 people. Paul Wahlberg is going to be the chef. He's going to cook it for you. And bottles of wine, some of the best wine you'll ever have at his all-star, I'm talking creme de la creme, really one of the, if not the best restaurant in Boston, greater Boston area. Alma Nove, by the way, right by the harbor, stunning view, $6,000. Do I hear $7,000? Come on, Kuhner Country. Make me a happy man. $7,000. Let's do it. If you want to make that bid, call 978-632-1985, 978-632-1985. I'm joined here by Mike Valilla, really the number 2 at DAV, working with Dan Stack. Mike, you've got an incredible biography, a great story. You served our country. You came back from Iraq. The DAV was there for you. Now you're there for all these disabled American veterans. We've only got a couple minutes left. Mike, when you think about the disabled vets and people are listening and saying, why should I give Veterans Days on Monday. Why the DAV and not another veterans group? What do you say to them?
So DAV is really phenomenal in the service work that we do. And in fact, 95 cents of every dollar donated to DAV, Department of Massachusetts, goes directly back into veteran services.
That's incredible.
We keep our payroll as rock bottom as we can. God love our employees for it. And we keep all of our costs down as low as we can across the board so that all monies can go directly back to veteran services. So whether we're in the VA Medical Center or Soldiers Home, volunteering and serving our veterans who are inpatient and don't have family or somebody to keep them company, whether we're giving veterans rides to and from their medical appointments, helping them with their disability claims or whatever state or federal benefits they are looking for assistance with or applying, housing them, you name it. DAV is always putting that foot forward. And as Dave Boyd said earlier on the interview, we're the best trained across the board for organizations with our service work. We're in the mid 90 percentile of every claim we submit comes back in a positive favor for the veteran because we know what we're doing and we do it right on behalf of the veteran.
Mike, maybe a couple minutes now. I just want to ask you, I wish I'd asked you earlier, but let me ask you now. Is there anything about veterans, and especially disabled veterans, in Massachusetts that is unique or different, say, from veterans in New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Mississippi, Alabama? I'm just randomly picking states. Is there something about the veteran community here that is uniquely different or has more, I don't know, a special need that you don't see anywhere else?
So in Massachusetts, we are the only state that has housing programs for veterans. So when we're talking about donating to DAV, Department of Massachusetts, it's directly supporting those housing programs that just simply don't exist anywhere else in the country. Also, each state has their own transportation department, but they're all run a little bit differently. Our transportation network has quadrupled its numbers over the past year. We're servicing hundreds and hundreds of veterans every month thanks to our wonderful volunteers that we have here in the state, getting them to their medical appointments. We also go outside of the Commonwealth. If there's a veteran who has an appointment, say, scheduled in Vermont or New Hampshire, a lot of other states won't go outside their own boundaries. But we just want to make sure the veterans get in the service that they need at the time. And that's key with DAV is we never want to turn a veteran down. We never want to turn them away. So we're always making sure that we provide that service, carry them through the finish line. And I'd say, if anything that I could define Massachusetts by is we just have some of the greatest volunteers here that really care about serving their fellow veterans. Everybody who's a member of DAV is a veteran themselves, so it's Vets Helping Vets. Wonderful organization.
Big heart. Big heart. Mike, it was a true honor and privilege, and I'm so happy that I got to finally meet you. Please keep up the absolutely outstanding work. I'm really proud of you, Mike. And again, thank you for your service.
Thank you, Jeff.
Have a wonderful Veterans Day weekend.
Thank you.
Okay, very quickly, everybody, please, if you can, donate, give 978-632-1985 or visit dav5k.boston. This hour of the WRKO DAV Radiothon, Department of Massachusetts, brought to you by the Post-1917 Steakhouse in Reading. To all our incredible vets, thank you. God bless you. Bye-bye.